Welcome everyone to a live edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. Back again. This time we're going to be talking about Western Conference standings. Last week we talked about Eastern Conference standings. Season right around the corner. I feel like it's less than 12 days or something like that since when the season starts. So
Sir,
we're ready to get right into it. Let's hop into the first story of the day, Hassan. You want to read out what you got on the agenda and we could get right into it?
All right. First thing I got is Shams. Shams joined ESPN. That was breaking news, I guess, to start off the week. He's the only, I guess, competitor. Him and Chris Haynes are the two biggest, I'd say, in terms of breaking news. But with him being at the top and doing like first take and countdown, wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on Big Shams.
It's just Big Me. It's just Big Shams.
It's just Big Me. I think he's only like 31 or something like that too. So I feel like he's gonna dominate the game for a while. But
yep,
you know, hear your thoughts.
Shout out to him. I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna be getting.
I feel like he was the only logical choice. I feel like he was the only logical choice to put him on.
Yeah, had Adam Schefter in the race.
But like
where are the free agent reporters though? Like, where do you even find them?
I don't know. Yeah, how do you even become that connected? Maybe you just like
right. I know, like, how do you end up in that position?
Yeah, I don't even know.
You got to do a lot of writing, though. You got to do a lot of writing.
Yeah, it's true. Got to be back journalism back.
Dude, when it was going on, it used to be like Woj 1, Shams 2nd. So I was like, it's only, he's the next up in line. Like, it's like All Might giving it to Deku, like passing the torch. But here you go.
I remember their legendary battle, 2020, I think, when LeBron went to LA and then Durant went to New York. Brooklyn.
I remember what was the hashtag? Shams did it first or something at one point.
And trade deadlines. I guess with him at the top now, like him breaking every single news, he's gonna be popping. Even tried to trade deadlines and stuff like that.
He's gonna make hella more bread too. Hella.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's young. Like
he's gonna have talking segments on ESPN and everything.
Yeah, I think he'll be on Countdown now on ESPN.
It'll be good for him.
That's Cam Newton now too.
I heard about that.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, I guess
I like his podcast stuff sometimes. I think he'll fit.
Nah, he be hating on Purdy too much.
What'd you say?
So he be hating on Purdy too much.
That's true.
Did you see Victor Oladipo's on the show?
Oh, bro, that shit is so sad, dude. He looks like he's 12, dude. Like
he's only 32.
Oh my
he looks impressed on the show when I saw the screenshot. Huh?
He literally looks like a child sitting up there in a suit, like
What's funny is
I haven't seen this. I have to look this up.
What value does Victor Oladipo give me from a basketball perspective that's new or like he's not entertaining? Huh?
I mean, they got some bums on there. Remember they had Ryan Hollins. Like, what does he know about basketball? Kendrick Perkins. Like, let's be real.
Ryan Hollins he's an announcer now for the Rockets.
Yeah, but I mean, they just you don't have to be a good player to get up in there. You know what I mean? Kendrick Perkins has been all over that thing, and we know.
Yeah.
Besides the video of him with the handles, like.
I forgot about that.
Omari, is it this?
Yeah. Bro, look how young he looks. That's young Hassan right there.
Yeah, I forgot they used to call me Oladipo.
Oladipo.
He's racist.
Nah, bro. He just look like Oladipo. It's not even racist.
No, it's kind of racist.
Screenshot back.
It's definitely racist.
He do look like Oladipo. All right, now Hassan, because you got the beard now, that's different though. He look like he had no facial hair.
Depot don't even got eyebrows.
Is that Hassan playing?
Need the braids, the hair.
Hassan, you never had braids in high school.
No, I've never had braids.
He looks like Oladipo except the hair, the eyebrows, the eyes, the braids, the beard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, back in the day, it was baby face and everything.
It's like you compare any light-skinned dude to Paul George. Like, it's not every light-skinned dude Paul George. Like, relax.
Compare every light-skinned nigga to Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, Kelly Oubre. Yeah, I just wanted to bring up Shams. But now we can talk about your guys' Lakers, what you guys have seen so far, and how do you feel from preseason debut? And
no. We're talking about Bronny. We'll talk about the Lakers when we get there.
How you feel about Bronny Bez and how the media portrays him?
I think they should just chill out on the whole. He's better than this guy, or look at this rookie that no one's talking about. He's doing much better. It's just like the only reason his name's in the media like that is because of his name, Bronny James, right?
Yeah.
If he was any other 55th overall pick, no one would be caring about it too much. you know, the fact that he's playing with his dad is a cool thing, legendary thing. Obviously, we got to pay respects to the fact that's never been done before. But I also think you should just let the kid play and stop putting all these headlines on him because, like, even as a pure basketball fan, as someone who doesn't care about like the headlines and stuff, I'd rather see them talk about something else. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't really care about Bronny and, you know, oh, he is averaging 2 points a game. Like, he's not supposed to be some Hall of Fame player, right? It's just like, I think they need to chill out with the story narratives. But it's cool that he's playing with his dad, though. We still got to acknowledge that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, seeing like Bleacher Report post this stat line of like 0 points or negative 40.
They put the boom and doom guy next to him, like, in the preseason.
I understand that from like Hater Central and like Brick Muse or whatever, like them doing that. It's funny to like hate on that, but yeah, being Bronny and being put in that position just makes his NBA career more difficult because every single game he's going to be under a microscope. He wasn't even like highly touted as a player just because he's LeBron's son. And sadly, it's going to continue like from opening night to end of the season. Even if he's in the G League, we'll see his G League stats and how bad or good they are.
Yeah.
But the positive about it is if he does perform well, I mean, it's like he'll be plastered all over social media and he'll grow, I guess, and he'll get the recognition for it. But he just has to put in the work and show it. So
he already is plastered, Huss. He already is plastered everywhere, bro. I see his misses.
Yeah, but for negativity though, not for nothing positive.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's not doing anything amazing, and they keep shoving like his negativity down my For You page, bro. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Just let him develop, bro. Like he's supposed to be like 3 years away from being relevant with the way where he was drafted and everything. Any normal second round pick. Look at Max Christie. He's his third year and now he's finally contributing. Like every second round pick shouldn't be expected to come in and contribute right away.
Be like Jokic or something. Like every second round pick should be developed into an NBA player, but it's hard to develop when you have such a microscope on your talent. Like
that's what sucks. That's what I hate for him.
Yeah, so he might not even be as good as he could be.
So the question is, Hassan, if he's under a microscope, is he going to crack under pressure or is he going to flourish?
I think he's going to crack on it. I just don't think the talent is there at an NBA level. To be honest, like
I don't think the talent's there. I don't think his body's there. Like a lot of stuff is like not. It's not in his favor. Like
the best he could be like is Drew Holiday, and that's probably like the longest shot of
dude. I don't even see him like in a real game scenario, like contributing in like a G League team, and G League is like shit. You know what I mean? Like
no, I think best case scenario. I said this before. Miles McBride, just backup point guard off the bench. But that's realistic.
You're laughing, but that's a good comparison.
That's a realistic. He should try to be that.
That's a ceiling. That's a good ceiling for
Drew Holiday's not happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, and people will still like compare him to his father, and he won't be a good NBA player at the end of the day, even if he's like a good backup point guard.
Unless he's like a multi-time All-Star, he's just going to be worse than his dad, no matter what. Like it's just how it is.
There's nothing he can do in his life that is better than LeBron.
Yeah, we just say to stop taking too much account in the preseason. Are you gonna just say that he's never gonna be nothing? Like we can just say we'll wait and see whether or not the pressure gets to him, whether or not he can develop in the way he's supposed to. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will develop
saying, like,
more
than
a
what range of outcomes of what he could be.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, I think that is like a long shot. I would say to become a Drew Holiday, but it's just like I'm not gonna say, oh, looking at the preseason. He'll never ever be that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to judge at the preseason.
I'll say this though. When I was watching Christie 2 or 3 years ago, in the last 2 or 3 years, I liked what I saw from his like sample to know like, oh, I know what he's gonna do in like 2 to 3 years. I know he's not going to be an all-star, but he's going to contribute in defense, you know, playmaking, off the ball, shooting, and he's doing that now. He's doing that now, but I just don't like have it. Like the word is hope. I don't have the hope for Bronny. To get
Christie's shown like, way more than Bronny has. Like in the few minutes that he did play, Christie's shown way more. You know what I mean?
I wonder what the rotation is going to be because apparently Sham said that we're going to expect to see Bronny opening night.
Okay, opening night means like 1 minute, bro. Like what are you talking about?
That's probably what it means.
Apparently he's in the rotation.
Bro, a minute is not rotation. A minute's like get off the bench, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just for the fact of like history. I don't think they're actually going to play him unless they're up or down by.
I hate right after, bro. Now, like, this is some kind of why I don't like Bronny being on the Lakers. Yeah, you get them, like, historical of him and his dad. But then, like, we just see him just get glorified for just being with his father and, like, stuff that normal players don't, or normal treatment players really don't
His
get. Like
contract
him
is the
playing
problem.
opening
We can have
night,
a
no
real
second
player.
round pick at his level should ever be playing opening night or ever getting like.
Bro, we should
game
have a real
minutes.
player instead of like he should be like one of those like I mean we picked him up and gave him a contract, whatever, but like we could have used another player.
I mean, it's
Apparently, the
fine.
Warriors wanted him.
G League,
Yeah.
two-way, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Take him.
I don't know.
I think
He should not
for
be
me,
getting
like-
minutes opening night. But
I say it's good to get it out the way because every other game, if you don't do it, people are going to be like, Bronny, put in
Yeah,
Bronny.
yeah.
So it's like, do it the first game. People will be satisfied. And obviously, he's not going to, unless he goes in there and hits like 3 threes or something, like no one's going to be slamming the table for him to play 10 minutes a game or something.
yeah. But other than Bronny, how do you feel about like JJ Redick and what you've seen from preseason games so far, rotations and stuff?
I think we should talk about that when we get to the Lakers for the Western Conference.
Do you think it's affected your standings?
I think it a little bit. I feel a little more safer with where I put them, but I'm not that confident if that makes any sense, you know? So
Yeah,
I feel like the range is less variable than I thought it was before the season.
Yeah, I actually like from what I've seen his like confidence in coaching and what his
For
belief
sure.
is. Apparently, like he's a basketball and like not nerd, but he pays attention to detail a lot and shows cases that to his players. From what I've seen, and that's why they're like hyped or paying more attention than last year with Darvin Ham.
Well said, I agree.
Well, way more structure. Before we get into the standings, couple things. I know you put this, but we could talk about it too. Kawhi Leonard kind of has to do with the Clippers standings, but he still has not practiced with them this season, and they're unsure if he's going to be ready for the season opener. So I'm sure that affects where you place them. But
Yeah,
what do you think about that in general?
the whole like thing for the Clippers has been like negative aura in terms of like Kawhi saying, "Oh, Nodi hasn't impressed him on the team yet." Him not
That was
playing.
hilarious. He like thought about it too. He was like naming the players, and he's like, "No, what, bro?"
Hasn't been good energy. It's just been James Harden carrying them like media wise, him doing everything in terms of like playing. So I guess they're just gonna have to rely on James Harden at the beginning of the season, and that could affect my standings. Kawhi Leonard not starting off the season, and then them having like bad energy going into starting the season kind of plays a role. And I don't know what's next for Kawhi Leonard, but as long as the what if will always hold near and dear for the Clippers, I guess, and that's why he gets paid as much as he does.
Bro, the Clippers are a what if franchise, buddy. Let me get that. Let me tell you right now. The
That's so
Clippers
fast.
Forever.
Clippers are a what if scenario in the last 30 years. I never want to, bro. This whole Kawhi, Paul George, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. It's just a big what if scenario waiting to happen.
The only way they
When is it-
succeed is like
Every
coaching
year
is like
what if.
immaculate, and every role player plays hard.
What is
James
it?
Harden.
That's like
And
every team
success
wants
is
that,
like
bro.
first round exit. Like that's still
And I guess if they make it to the second round, that would be huge. So
yeah, but that's still like not what they
They're not
want
gonna
to
make
do.
the
You know?
playoffs, bro. They're definitely a playing team this year,
we'll see.
no question.
But
We shall see. We shall see.
yeah, how do you
And-
feel about Kawhi now? Do you think he's cooked, or do you actually think he can?
Oh, he's
I'm back.
correct. He's good.
We've
No
been
matter, how many
the-
times you asked me this question for the last 3 years.
No, but this is new information. We thought that he was actually gonna come back. Oh, at least I thought he was gonna come
I
back.
don't think
at
this
the
is
start
new
of the season.
information. I expect
Not
this
to
from
us.
him.
Like the
this is,
majority of
like,
us said he's
on
good.
course for his career. You know what I mean? It happens on a net regular basis. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
But I thought he was gonna start the season, bro. Like
Hassan, this is like
he's been holding on to the same knee injury since the Olympics.
Hassan,
go-
this
you
is
need
like
to go
that.
watch more
You know when we
after
say Hassan, you know when we say, oh, this person is likely to be injury prone. Kawhi like legit like actually like fits the description of injury prone. He legitimately does not play. That's the problem.
Yeah,
At least Zion's like not Zion. Who can I name?
Anthony
Chris
Davis.
Middleton.
Davis injury prone, and he showed like he played a whole damn near season, and before that he played another whole damn near season. So it's like Kawhi doesn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I just want to. You know who they should have had on starting? I wish Kawhi Leonard was on starting five just to see what he thinks, because he's just a robot, bro. Like I want to see inside.
You
his
would have
life.
watched
He
his
don't want-
ass
he don't want no
fucking
fucking
say
cameras
nothing for
following
5
him.
episodes.
Yeah, but he don't want no cameras following him, bro.
Ooh, don't.
I want to
need
see who
watch
he
the
is,
show.
though. I guess he doesn't, but it helps his brand. Have you guys watched the show yet?
I watched it drop. I wish it
I
dropped like
watched
a
some
week ago,
clips.
bro.
That's it.
I watched a couple episodes. It's too
Make sure I
produced.
got a lot of baby oil.
I've
Dude.
watched like probably 2 or 3 episodes.
I would have
Definitely
binged it if
haven't-
it was out a week ago, bro. I got busy like the week it dropped. I couldn't watch it, but I wish it was out a week ago.
Are you gonna watch it and drop clips on your channel, or?
Hell yeah, I am.
That would be
Yeah,
fire.
Anthony Edwards is funny. Like seeing LeBron. Apparently, LeBron spends more than $1 million on his body a year, which is insane.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Me
Probably
too,
goes up.
for real.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't disclose the
More money he
number,
gets.
but he said that he chuckles when he sees people say that he spends $1 million on his body.
Yeah.
Okay, that means
Go
he's spending
James,
more
go
money, bro.
James.
He getting BBLs.
BBL massages.
BBL,
Yeah.
LeBron.
The show looks kind of like too produced, or it's not authentic at all. You
Really?
just like,
You think so?
yeah. From what I've seen, I've watched some of the episodes. It's just like they put them in positions to look a certain way.
What does that like? What do you
Then-
mean? Like, is it just like
Like
there's
when
They'll
not-
show them with their family and
But
like,
that's the whole point. Like it's
I guess
really
it's
supposed
supposed
to
to
be
be
like
behind
high
the scenes.
quality.
huh?
Yeah. So you're not gonna get no raw behind the scenes footage, like.
Well, that's what I want. I mean,
But then
kinda quarterback
obviously,
kinda
like,
showed
why
us
would
that,
they
like-
put out? But why would they put out something like that makes them look insane? Like, you know, that makes them look crazy.
not obviously you don't want them to make them look crazy, but at least make it look organic, like Anthony Edwards eating Popeyes or something like that. Like something.
That
organic,
sounds
I don't know.
racist as hell, bro. You got to relax.
No, he's not wrong though because Edward says he
No,
likes
bro. Out
Popeyes.
of
Yeah, he
context,
likes
somebody
Popeyes.
clipped
He
that.
uncorrect.
Out of context, somebody
He
clipped
Uncle
that.
Ruckus over here, bro.
Thank God I didn't say that.
Okay, but just him, like they'll talk about him talking about his family, and then go
The
to
thing is,
him,
you got to
play
realize
video.
these episodes are like 30 minutes. They can't just show you like 30 other minutes of him doing bullshit around the house or something. Like it doesn't matter for the narrative,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
don't know. Then they'll have like face-to-face matchups, like Sabonis versus the Heat, and him talking about Jimmy Butler. Oh, Jimmy Butler is such a great player. Yada yada. yada.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree
who
with
cares
that.
about
They should
crap?
have a little beef going. I'll say that, but
But
Yeah,
you want
like,
them to
they'll do the
manufacture
head-to-head matchups against the other players, which is like funny to me.
they
But,
need
yeah.
they need to put like Draymond or somebody in this that like has a little bit more excitement to them, like John
Yeah,
Morant.
Draymond.
Anthony
Yeah.
Edwards is a good one to have in here, but
Ja Morant. Nah, I wouldn't.
No,
be
That would be a
How many
movie,
would be
bro. I want to see
awesome?
that.
Yeah,
bro, we
that's
would
awesome.
watch John. Say I'm wrong. Like,
I would
we would
watch
tune
John.
into that shit.
Kawhi.
Okay,
I don't know
this
about
guy.
Kawhi.
Bro, saying his name, he
I'm
don't
like,
know
I'm
you, bro.
adding that nigga to the conversation.
Give me Lamelo
Stop
too, bro. Fuck it.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
Lamelo in there.
All the
Yeah, who
fucking
would be the guest?
diva players, all the divas, bro. That's what we
Yeah,
want to see in
exactly.
this.
Kelly Oubre. Hassan wants to see Kelly Oubre.
Nah,
Miles Bridges.
you gave, not me. You.
We can go to court with Miles Bridges. Go to jail.
Dude, fuck it. Give me Mitchell
Kevin Porter
Robinson, bro.
Oh, nah, that's crazy.
Give me Killian Hayes.
Nah, hell nah. See,
Nah,
how they-
Killian
Yeah,
Hayes
Draymond
is
would be good.
diabolical
See
work,
him,
bro.
like fighting.
Ben
All right,
Simmons would be a crazy one.
Talking
Nobody
snap.
wants
Imagine
to
all
see
the
that.
hate. He's like, sees
I'm
it.
good. I'm good on Ben Simmons.
He starts crying.
I see that bitch.
Imagine.
Jokic is funny, bro. All the footage of Jokic is hilarious.
It is.
I love Jokic footage.
Hold on. All right. My camera's blurry, but we could pull this up right now. One more thing before we get into the standings. I want your guys' thoughts on this.
We doing standings today?
So Anthony Edwards says he doesn't agree with Kobe and Michael Jordan's leadership styles. You got to talk to players differently. Certain players can take it. I talked to some of my teammates like, hey, get your shit together. But some players, you got to talk to them on the side. You can't really cuss them out in front of everybody.
No, I agree with that. Even when you talk to certain people and guessing their personalities, you have to kind of talk to them a certain way to get the best out of them or maximize their potential. And that's, I guess, Anthony Edwards is correct in that. You can't just be like the same, like Kobe cussing out every single player to play at your standard, or even Michael Jordan too. I mean, it's effective for them and the personality that they bring, and it worked for them. So, but we'll see. I agree with Anthony Edwards' style of leadership.
Yeah, I think this is good that he said this. Well, I just like that he said. I don't know if it's good, but I think people always lean towards one side. You know, like they defend Kobe religiously no matter what. And I love Kobe Bryant. He's probably my favorite player ever. But I'll be naive to say that like he didn't have things about him that led players to not want to play with him. Yeah. So I like that he pointed this out and said you could lead people differently. Like, yeah, some of the players love playing with Kobe because they could handle it, and some players hated it because they couldn't handle it. And you have to just talk to everybody differently depending on your relationship with them and different dynamics and stuff like that.
Yeah, even in life, you got to talk to certain people a certain
Facts.
way.
You don't talk to your parents the same way you talk to your homies. So,
True. Fox. What's that? Facts.
anyone else thoughts on this, or we were ready to get into the
I don't
stage?
know. I'm divided.
I agree with y'all. I think that it's true. Just and I feel like any good leader knows how to handle different people. You know, I feel like a good leader isn't just a one way. You know, this is how we do it, and that's it type of dude. You know what I mean?
Let's see if this
he
works.
No.
But for somebody like Rudy Gobert, you gotta like cuss him out, bro. Make him play, because he doesn't. Can't talk to him like a little.
Bro, I
like
kind of
soft,
disagree
I
with
don't
this, low key. It sounds like QD popped like trying to be PR trained. Like, what is this? Why are you trying to cater to everybody's needs? Like, it sounds too like media trained of a thing to say, especially from Anthony Edwards too.
What do you mean? Everything he says is right.
No,
Usually.
no, like this sounds like someone made him say this. Like, I feel like he did not want to say this quote.
That's calf.
Bro, this doesn't sound like him. It doesn't sound like him.
Well, you may have to listen to the clip. This is just a.
Clip is the clip. Like, someone could have put it in his head. That's like he does. I don't think he believes this.
Nah.
Bro, I think.
Why not?
Yeah, why don't he believes this?
I'm pretty wrong. I disagree with that, to be honest. I think you gotta you gotta raise people's games like that, and if they can't get like that's their problem. They're not receiving it. That like they gotta adapt or dip. Like, I don't know how to say it.
I see your point. Like, that's why people like Michael Jordan and Kobe. Like, if you don't play to their standard, why are you even playing to win a championship? Like, you got to play to their level of intensity. But it's kind of different from 2002 to 2024. You think Rudy Gobert is going to play to that intensity?
Like, the competition soft nowadays? That's what I feel like you're saying.
I'm not saying the competition soft. I guess people like receive information differently these days, especially with like social media and how everything's portrayed. So I guess that kind of plays a part to people's mentality. It's not the same.
It sounds like it's soft.
I don't even think it's about being soft, bro.
If Michael Jordan played in this era, you know how crazy he would look.
Bro, these guys are grown men trying to compete for like a championship, bro. If Jordan or Kobe tell you to like lock in or so, like get your shit together, you got to get your shit together.
But you know he ain't just saying lock in. He's probably like cussing out his parents and his family. Like, it's not just, hey brother, lock in. It's like, you're a fucking pathetic loser who don't deserve to be here.
You can't handle that. You can't play with him, bro.
But it's like, you got to be realistic. It's like at some point someone's challenging your manhood. It's like, oh, you got to do this is one thing, but like you're a pussy ass bitch is like, hey, what did you say to me? You know, it's different. It's like
Imagine
levels.
if, like, your boss told you that at work, Gabe. You gonna work harder or what?
It's like, if he told you to suck it up, you're not bought in to the company, and he called you a pussy. Like,
well, I'm gonna reverse crash out. That's a different thing. Not everyone's gonna. But that's why I'm gonna like do that because I'm not gonna take that.
Same with some players too.
No, but they're gonna cry and like leave, bro. I'm not gonna cry and leave, bro. I promise.
So you still work there?
Yeah, I work there. Because I'm a matcher, bro. I'm gonna show them why I matter.
No, you're kissing daddy's feet.
Hell no,
you seen The Boys? That's like you and Homelander, bro.
Who's Homelander? Kidding.
Some people will cry.
Nah, bro. You gotta lock in or get the fuck out.
Today's NBA, honestly.
Take me back to the early 2000s, Huss. Take me back then.
You didn't even watch hoops back then. No, I'm just kidding.
06 was my earliest. Well, that's not early 2000s. That's like mid 2000s.
Earliest memory.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the standings in the Western Conference.
These are pretty hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This is difficult, except this one. This one's pretty easy to me.
Yeah, this probably is unanimous.
15 seed.
The Golden State Warriors.
Get out here.
How about you go first, Gabe? So I know you're not
I got
joking.
the Trailblazers. Those guys stink, bro.
Yeah, Trailblazers.
Yeah, Trailblazers.
Yeah, they have nothing like, bro. They only have one name to their team, and that's Anthony Simon. That's all I can give them.
Let me talk about the Blazers for a sec here. Shaedon Sharp already injured with a shoulder injury before the season even starts, so he's one of their good players.
Better than who, guys? Jalen Green, huh? Better than who?
I still think he will be. I'm not even lying, bro. I don't think Jalen Green's good, but we'll get to that later.
Get the hate out your heart, man.
It's not hate. It's just facts. Yeah, so Trailblazers, Shaedon Sharp's done. Anthony Simons, you like him, but he can't be your best player. Ayton, if he doesn't shovel the snow out his driveway, he's not showing up to the game. Who else do we got? Denny Avdia. I like the acquisition for him, but Chauncey Billups, he said that he's their best player. So if that's your best player, you're cooked, buddy. You guys are done. And on top of it all, Chauncey Billups is probably on his way out. They're not going to re-sign him. It's the last year of his contract. I mean, he hasn't done anything spectacular here. They probably want to go a different direction. So when you're on the last year, you kind of don't give a shit. You're just playing with fire. You know what I mean? You don't care if you get fired because it's like you're done after this year anyway. So, yeah, I don't see him being good in any aspect. Hopefully the young guys can improve, but outside of that, it's going to get really ugly this season.
Yeah, also the thing I'm looking forward to this team is only like Scoot Henderson and see his development on the roster. I mean, like, he should be he's the most talented player on that team in terms of like raw talent, and hopefully he can harness that and be better this year than what he was last year. So I'm just trying to see his development there. And then also, like, this team's gonna be. It might get as bad as the Wizards because they're playing every single good team in the West. Damn, 4 times a year. So the Wizards, at least they play like the bad teams in the East. There's more bad teams in the East than
Yeah, they get
in the
4
West.
Brooklyn games. Like they could win those.
Yeah, exactly. But you're not going to be able to win like 4 like Nuggets.
Even the
games.
Jazz is going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be hard to
Houston.
win those.
Because you
Yeah,
can't
there's
stop.
no way they win those easily. So they might be the worst team in the NBA. Honestly,
I can see
agree.
it for sure.
Hoop
And you already know they might trade like Jeremy Grant midseason and get even worse. So
8-2
Yeah,
maybe.
I fully expect them to go full tank mode. I feel like there's no way that they're not going to be
9 wins.
Out of
9 wins.
a
I'm
limit,
calling
say
it.
they'll
Yeah,
be
luckily
worse
Guys,
than
guess the
that.
wins. Let's guess the wins. I guess 9.
It sucks for
15.
them that it's not like football.
9 is crazy, bro. The Pistons won like 15 games last year and they won 27-game
They
losing
won
streak.
15. Okay, I'm gonna give the Blazers 13.
I'll give them 20.
20 in the West.
Yeah, 20.
I
I
won't
think the
go
worst
20,
team last
but
year was like what?
9 is
I'll do
crazy
15
too. Like
too.
that's like
I'll say
the
15.
worst in ever all time.
They could do it.
I say between 13 and 17.
Let's see.
I could see him 20 if they get like really good production out of Scoot and Simons.
Bruh.
I'll go out on a limb and say that they'll be the worst team next year too, bro. I'm gonna lie to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
even after
Nine
Nine
wins?
next year rankings for this
9
team.
wins.
No, bro. Even if the worst team, they're not winning 9 games. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
Bro.
100%.
What if they go like? What if they win 0 games?
That's impossible. It's just
Bro,
not
can
happening.
you imagine? Bro, the whole year they're just losing. They're all just losing.
Imagine-
Bro, they lose to the Wizards.
Season would be
They
the
lose to the
craziest
Pistons.
shit ever, dude.
Omari, if it happens, I promise it's
They'll
gonna be
beat
the
the
funniest
they'll
thing
beat the
ever.
Wizards.
That would
I
be the
promise
funniest
you.
shit.
They'll
You
beat
think
the
that ever
Wizards.
happened? Nah, that probably never. There's no way.
No, it's not. I don't think it's ever happened.
Imagine-
It will
Probably
never
straight up
happen.
Depression.
That'll never happen. Yeah, that'd be
Dude,
insane.
Bro.
just going into games knowing you're gonna
You'd
lose
have
every
to
single
sell the
game.
whole,
Bro,
like-
that means Hassan, you have 2 years of basketball that your team never won a game. Can you believe that? It's
I
like
feel like the
from-
commissioner should force a sale of the team if that happens. You know what I mean? You know how like every level people just get fired? That should be a level where the
Everybody will get
owner
fired.
just booties like
I
immediately.
drop a tactical nuke, bro, in Portland, bro.
Yeah, like
Bro,
that's like a fucking Adam Silver nuke.
I think we'll be different on 14, maybe.
All right, who do you got at 14?
I got my 14. I got the Jazz.
I also have the Jazz.
I have the Jazz as well.
All right, there you go.
There
Unison.
you go.
They're also really bad. Usually they
Yeah,
start
I
off
mean,
hot and just fall off in the middle of the year. But this year I can't even see that just because the West is too good. Like usually they'll be playing some of the early teams that are either got a bunch of rookies coming up or start off the season with injuries. This year it's not going to happen. So the Jazz, I can see them being one of the worst teams.
They also want to ship out Laurie. They were trying to at the beginning of the year to the Warriors. So that kind of hadn't, like, you know where their mindset is going to be at, especially when they start losing games. Talent isn't there to compete either, just Laurie. So and then you have the point guard you love, Bez, what's his name?
Keontae George.
Deontay George.
Deontay George, yeah. So he's actually good. So
Did someone
that's
get
only
injured
like-
on that team,
yeah.
Bez, or no? No, that's someone else.
Not that I know of. Not anyone important.
I feel like it's another George that I was mixing up.
Paul.
No.
That's the only other one I know.
Yeah, they just don't have enough talent to compete, honestly.
They don't. All right, so that means we'll move on to 13 seed. This is where I have the Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs.
Me too.
Me too.
There we go.
No way.
There we go.
I thought Gabe was gonna switch up on us if anything.
Me too.
No. I'm a little logical today. Who
But
would
the
I
thing
have said?
is- The thing is about the Spurs, like even though they're 13 seed for us, I could see him winning like 30 games though. You know what I mean? I could still see him winning 30 games with Chris Paul and Wemby. They could beat up on the Eastern Conference bottom feeders. Like if they were in the East, they could make the play-in probably because all they got to do is beat out like the Hawks and the
100%
Bulls
believe
and
it.
shit. So
Yeah, me too. I believe that.
but in the West, it's just going to be tough. So 13 seed, but they might not be as bad as like the standings indicate.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like this could be the OKC of last year. They won't get the first seed, but they have a potential to be higher just because of Wemby. He could take that all like a really big leap. Chris Paul being the leader and even if he showcases like the OKC-esque Chris Paul and that leadership and bring the talent up to another level, then that could help them potentially be a bit higher. And these guys are like young, Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell. They've been in the league for a long time, or not a long time, but a couple of years now. So they know what it takes to be a better NBA player, or good enough to win games. So Chris Paul's leadership can take them to the next level, and Wemby taking the next step They could be higher potentially, but it's hard in the West. Honestly,
I agree.
All right, I think
We're doing pretty good, guys. We're doing pretty good.
This is already better than our last.
All right.
See, this is where I deviate from everybody. Probably.
Let me guess. I'm not gonna guess.
We got the Los Angeles Clippers as the 12th seed.
Austin almost had it, bro.
No.
Best, I like it. Best, actually,
Let
you
me
know,
talk.
I
Let me
Go ahead. Give your reasoning.
All right. Look at Omari. He knows he with me. All
12.
Damn.
I mean,
I should be. That's crazy.
The thing is, looking at the teams above him, I just can't see, unless Kawhi comes back at some point and is healthy, which I can't rely on, I just don't see him being better than these other teams. We're relying a lot on James Harden, who I'm going to give you credit, Hassan. I think he's going to have a really good year because he looks better and everything, but I just don't think it'll translate to wins like it did in the past is the only difference. I don't think the talent around him is good enough. I don't think he's at that exact level, MVP level. Kawhi's not reliable, and I just think they're lacking talent in a hard Western Conference. I don't see him being better than maybe like one of maybe the 10th seed is probably their ceiling to me. I could see him being better than the two teams I have ahead of him in the standings, but unreliable team. That guy's unreliable. You know what I mean? The talent is just not there outside of Harden and Kawhi, who are old and injury prone besides Harden. And even then, he's been kind of banged up the last few years. So I just can't trust it. I see this team having more likelihood of failing than doing well. I'm putting them at the 12th seed here. I think they'll miss the playoffs.
12 is like an utter failure, and Ty Lue will get fired. You trade Kawhi Leonard, you trade James Harden. 12 is really bad for.
I see that happening. But again, also looking back at the Spurs thing that I said, they could be a 12th seed, but still win like 30 plus games, like 37 games. Yeah. So even though it's bad, it's not as bad as 12th seed indicates. But I still think they won't make the playoffs. I think
but it's two different like directions of teams because you have older players that you're trying to claim a championship with these players. And
I don't have faith in them like that though, personally.
You just think the whole thing is going to be bad. I think they have enough. My opinion, the reason why I have them higher is because they have enough role players. I think that do their role pretty well, and coaching will help that, like excel the team to at least higher than 12, in my opinion. But
listen.
See, I'll tell you who I have at 12.
Theoretically, if Kawhi played like 30 games, where are they at?
They'd be higher than 12.
Really?
Yeah, I think they have like.
Is this like
them having Norman Powell, but Kevin Porter Jr. is still a good player even with what he has going on. Derek Jones is good. I feel like they have selfless players, and the coaching is. I think Ty Lue's 5'10", top 10 coach in the NBA.
You think basically?
I mean, look at the names you're naming though, Hassan. Terrence Mann, Kevin Porter, Norman Powell, Zubac. These are good role players, but it's like now we're looking at basically the Nets Western Conference plus James Harden, and it's like okay. Oh, I get what you're saying. If they were in the East, they would easily make the playoffs. But when you're in this tough Western Conference, you have James Harden, a bunch of role players, Kawhi, who won't be there to start the season, and then unreliable even if he does play. I just don't see them outlasting these other teams.
They really are. It's a little bit better players.
They're like good enough to play better than what they really are because of coaching, and I think that's going to be the reason why they win more games. And then James Harden is going to produce at an all-star level, in my opinion.
When James Harden actually, I'm not trying to like roast you or Harden, but when James Harden does not produce at an all-star level this year, and we all watch this for the first for the first month of the NBA, and when he doesn't produce all-star numbers, I am going to like thoroughly ask you about James Harden every day of the pod.
Okay, and then when he does produce at an all-star level, I'm gonna have this clip as motivation and bring it back every single day.
Save this clip right now. James Harden is not producing shit for the first month of the season. I'm telling you right now.
34 minutes.
Without Kawhi Leonard, he's the only reason. He's the only person who's gonna have the ball in his hands.
Clip my clip, Hassan, right now.
34 like Shaq.
I have the Rockets at 12.
Whoa.
I think.
Bro, I got him so much higher. It's actually ridiculous.
Dog, they're better than your team.
I think the teams ahead of them are just better. I believe in the talent, but when the West at this point, this is when it got like really close in terms of who made the play-in and who didn't, with like 44 wins I think they had last year. But I do think they'll be better in terms of talent, like in development. Sengun another year, Green another year, Smith another year, Van Fleet being a leader there. I think they'll be good, but I think the team just ahead of them are better. So I have to place them here.
Did you not just talk about coaching? About like Ty Lue being a top coach? What about Ime Udoka?
That is so crazy, honestly.
Yeah, but I think the guys that they
have.
What
about Ime Udoka? Do you not have confidence in that you have on Ty Lue?
Can I respond? I think they have more veteran players on the Clippers, and that's going to help them more.
Bro,
than
the players you
Rockets
mentioned,
talent.
the players
Hold
you
on,
mentioned
hold
on the
on, hold on.
Clippers are worse than the Rockets player. I'm not even kidding you.
Let me
Zubats-
interject here, Gabe. Let me get in here. So you
ahead.
think they're gonna be better than last year or worse than last year?
The Rockets,
Yeah.
about.
What'd you say? You
Terms
cut
of
off.
wins.
It cut off. It cut off.
Oh, sorry, I said like about the same. Didn't they have like 44 wins last year? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, they had 41 wins, and they were the 11th seed. And you're saying basically that they're going to regress, essentially, because you're saying 12th seed. And, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
they could still have around the same amount of wins, but I don't know. I just
I
think
think me personally,
with all the additions, with all the improvements, like, you believe in Jalen Green so much, like, everything you guys have been telling me is, like, not
Well,
adding
that's
up to
a
what
lot.
you just
Gonna
said.
be good too.
Rockets are not my 12th seed. Let me clear it up. Rockets are not my
I'm
12th
talking
seed.
to just this man. You're good,
Well,
Gabe.
they're
You're
mine. No,
good.
they're mine too. They're mine too.
Yeah, I think Memphis is going to be the one that takes a leap this year.
Yeah,
First of
that's
all,
what
yeah,
I'm saying.
I
feel
agree
like-
too, but I think you guys are sleeping on the Rockets. They 41 wins with an improved roster, players that are getting better.
Shepard, I want to give him some love too, but
He might
It's
win
hard.
Rookie of the Year, bro. He might win Rookie of the Year. That's
Yeah.
how good he looks.
they're comparing him to Steph like they always do. But
Ooh.
I don't know. I think the teams above them
Love
are
Reed
just going to
Shepard.
be better, man.
I
This
love
team is
Reed
talent, bro.
Shepard's game.
What'd you say?
All right.
I love
So
Reed
I'm
Shepard.
just saying, like, I think they'll be around the same, like, talent wise and record wise. But yeah, I think truthfully that just adding the Grizzlies to the equation pushes a lot of people, you know what I mean, down because it was an aberration for them to be that low in the first place.
No, I agree, but I still have I've said the Grizzlies high and still have
Yeah.
the Rockets above 12. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like I think
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
really
No,
good
I mean,
this
I-
year.
You
too.
think
I think they have the potential to be
Rockets?
good.
Sorry, if the Clippers are fully healthy with Kawhi and James Harden, that they'd be better than the Rockets?
Like regular season wise?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so you're just saying you think Kawhi's not gonna play as much then, basically?
I think he's not going to play as much, and even when he does play, I just feel like the
Contribution.
team as overall, like he's not going to be as elite as he once was. Neither will Harden, and the players around him aren't like good enough to make up for everything that they're missing.
Bro, that
I
franchise
disagree.
has just been like bred to be mid, bro. Like everyone about them is mid. Like, bro,
Yeah, this is
there's
not mid.
players-
This is
there's
trash.
Players,
The
there's
12th
players that have been on that team for 5-6 years and do the same thing, and they still like are mid, bro.
But this
Like
was the
Terrence
fourth
Mann
seed
had
last
one
year.
good playoff game,
Fourth seed
and he
last
got
year,
paid. Zubats has been on the team for like 6 years. Norman
I also
Powell.
think you're
been on the team for, like, 6
overestimating
years.
coaching too. Like Ty Lue's a good coach, but to say that he's going to elevate like the mid role players they have, I don't know. Like LeBron is the only person that he's been with that has shown me that he could do that, and that's literally LeBron James. So
Okay,
like,
but he has James Harden, and James Harden has always elevated his players. And
Yeah,
I
but,
believe
like,
in him, so that's why I have him high.
this ain't MVP Harden. He's a normal human. He ain't LeBron. Like he's not
Okay, but
he's
I
not
think he'll
that
be an
type of
all-star level
player.
player, and that's good enough to elevate players.
Yeah,
on
so
your team.
like
Who's your
30
number
wins.
12,
Y'all
Gabe?
can get 30 wins. Like I'm not saying 30 wins is
Yeah,
crazy.
your team should get the Clippers should get 30.
So 30's cool. That's 30's cool.
No, bro. Who's your 12, Gabe?
Oh, my 12 was the Clippers too. I 100% agree with Bez. 100%.
Do you actually have them at 12?
Yeah, bro. Me and Bez have been banned for band this whole time.
Lock in, bro. We're locked.
All right,
I'm
no,
telling
me and Hassan locked in. We know.
Let's go more. You don't
I
want to
can
hear
tell you-
my 11 though.
I
You
can
don't
tell
wanna
you my
hear
11. You're not gonna like it though, Hus. I can
No,
tell you
tell
my
your
11.
11. I got the same thing.
Bro,
thing.
Got
My
the Los
11 seed is the
Angeles-
Golden
Kidding.
State Warriors. I'm gonna say it first, Hassan. Hold on. Let me
No,
pause you
the
right there.
Warriors?
The
No.
Golden State Warriors
I
are
got
number
Warriors
11.
at 11 as well. I
No
got the Warriors
way.
at 11.
Hassan, take the hat off, throw it in the garbage bin. The team is done. Cook, chop, ship it, and dip it.
Bro,
Hassan,
this guy
that
knows
team-
ball. Let's go. We're here.
Hassan. Your team got worse, and you think you're gonna do better this year? Like, just think about how that sounds. Your team
did not
got
get
worse.
The team
Bruh.
didn't get worse.
Bruh.
How'd they get worse? Please tell me.
Bro,
They
you're-
didn't
You guys
get worse,
got
but they didn't get
8%
better.
playoff
either.
team.
You're
Get 'em outta
expecting
here.
you're expecting Jonathan Kuminga to be like some 24, 25 point per
Frank
game. defense.
Ocean, Kuminga.
Bro,
I don't
like,
believe him to,
what-
even so. I think we got players that fit the culture and fit like how we play basketball. Like D'Anthony Melton's a good player. Buddy Hield's a good player. Or
I'll
Ryan
give you
Anderson's
Buddy
good.
Hield, but don't say
They
D'Anthony
fit
Melton's
into the
name.
culture
Like,
and we coach well. Then we should be better than last
your
year.
coach
Yeah, like
stinks,
Stephen
bro. He's
Curry.
been on the hot seat for 3 years.
He has been on the hot seat, but I'm saying like he put Klay Thompson in a position that he shouldn't have been in just because he's been on the team for so long. Klay Thompson doesn't deserve 30 minutes a night at this level
Bro,
anymore.
if we go down the roster, your team does not have hitters, bro. You only have Curry,
You do.
and that's literally it. You don't have hitters,
We're talking
bro.
about Paz, Moody. Moody's good.
These, bro,
Moody's
compared
good.
to the 10 teams above them, they don't have hitters, bro. They don't.
I got them at 11 too, but for different reasons. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say they don't.
He
have
doesn't even
hitters.
believe in you, Gabe.
Well, like I agree with him, just not the
No.
same reasons.
All right, go ahead. Say your points.
I was just gonna say that I just don't think. I mean, last year they were the 10 seed. I don't think they got worse, but I also don't think like they did anything to get better. I think Buddy Hield just comes in and replaces Clay. Hopefully, he can be more efficient. That's kind of what you're hoping for. But I don't know. I still think that this team lacks a couple of things, lacks size, lacks physicality. Like outside of Draymond Green, I mean, Kuminga's cool, but you got to hope that if Wiggins can actually show me something that he's back to anything that he used to be, that'll change a lot of my opinion on this team because I think outside of Kuminga, you guys are missing a lot of like big and physical players. And like if Wiggins can give you anything, maybe that'll change my mind. But right now, like aging Draymond, like Trace Jackson Davis, I think you need more physical players, bigger size. I don't think you guys have that. The defense will struggle. So I just think you guys are going to hover around. You guys could be a little higher, sure, but you guys were 10 seed last year. I think you'll hover around
The
the
only
same
reason
spot.
we were 10th last year was because Draymond was suspended 25 games. With him, we were like above 500 easily.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like he's helping you win, but it's like he also does bad stuff on the court. So
he's a plus and a minus, bro. Like he literally
on the court he's a plus.
Bruh.
Every game with
So
Steph,
punching Nurkic, putting Gobert in the like these things are positive.
he also had a career year from 3 last year. Is he going to do it again? I don't know.
He's going to be suspended again this year. No, he won't. He can control his emotions.
You sure about that?
Can you hear me?
What?
Yeah, I said, are you sure about that?
Yeah, no, he'll control his emotions this year, bro.
Would you put money on him controlling his emotions? Yes or no?
He get one
There
suspension
you go.
for
So
sure.
if you wouldn't put money on it, don't say he's gonna do it.
All right, you won't be suspended 25 games though. It's a quarter of the damn season.
Stop putting like an over and under bar on his like suspension games, bro. It's like 13 and a half. You're gonna bet the over? Like
even
what?
so,
He finna knock somebody out cold on the court.
I expect him to believe it. I expect him to believe in the Warriors. That makes sense though.
Yeah, well, obviously. But I think the development and players have been on the team for so long. Like, if you don't figure it out now, then it's bad for Kuminga and I think Jamski will take another step too. So keep in on, sleep on him, sleep on us. You know what's gonna happen. You're not gonna like my 11 though.
Try me.
Oh, hold on. Before we move on, if the Warriors get like the 8th seed, don't come on to us after the season. Y'all was sleeping, bro. Y'all was sleeping. All right. Well, I don't want to hear it. I say y'all could get the 8th seed. Yeah, but it's not like I'm hating. I think you guys can hover around this area, but like you could come and tell me you told me so if they're like 6th or some or higher. But 8th seed or like 10th seed, nah, bro.
Come tell me if they pass 10th, Hassan. Remember this 10th seed. They're not cracking it. They're not cracking it.
Yeah, 10. You could talk a little bit if they're past 10 at least.
This guy's a hater. This is where I have the Sacramento Kings at number 11. You got the 2 more? You got the 2?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this goes back to my De'Aaron Fox rant of me not believing in him. And I think the team.
Not for that reason.
I know they added DeRozan, but I think with him on the roster, the spacing is going to be off. He's going to demand shots, and it's going to kind of not be like Bulls-esque, but he's going to take a percentage of what they got going on offensively. He doesn't provide anything from a defensive standpoint as well with his age. I think the offense that Mike Brown runs is going to be a bit figured out and outplayed at this time of year, the 3rd season. I think players are going to figure out what him and Sabonis do, what him and De'Aaron Fox do. So that's going to account into them losing more games. And I don't think they'll be better than teams above them.
I don't like their team makeup, bro. I said this before too. I don't like it. It's just too clogged. Yeah. We'll see though.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only thing I agree with everything Hassan said besides De'Aaron. I don't think it has anything to do with De'Aaron Fox himself. He's great. He's amazing. He plays. He averages almost 30 points. Yeah, he's a
great player. He's a great player.
Yeah. If anybody, it's not his fault. Like
this guy with the hat needs to
at least his fault.
He's on down.
But I do agree that the addition of DeRozan isn't like a real addition because what they needed badly and why they lost last year and why they were way worse last year was their defense. And they did literally zero to address that. Yeah. Old man DeRozan is not going to address that issue. He may get you some mid-range buckets. You guys are going to be probably an even better offensive team, but you can't just go all in on offense in this day and age. So I don't think that. I was thinking in a tough Western Conference and just a tough league in general, like talent keeps getting better and better. A team that just has like that much of a lack in defense, if another team can, even if they're not as talented offensively, can provide decent defense, like they're probably going to beat you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and even if with the offense being as good as it is the past couple of years, I feel like teams already know how to game plan around it with 2 years of film and tape. Like usually a team with having the same offense for 3 years doesn't usually work out to the point where you win games doing the same thing. And unless you have the talent, like, to figure it out, which they might have offensively, but we'll see. I don't think it's gonna be as flourishing as it was the past 2 seasons. And we kind of saw that while they digressed at the end of the year last year too, and especially with the defense, like you said, they didn't improve in that aspect either. So
so that's why we got 11.
why would they have offense? Why would they have the same offense with DeMar DeRozan? I mean, they have the months. Everything runs through Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox's pick and roll. And DeMar DeRozan is just supposed to be a third option there and get his own basket. So I mean, the offense would probably be worse. I don't know how he flows in that type of offense. He's
I don't
not
think
going to
it'll
be
be
a
worse.
player that stands and shoots threes.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I don't think it'll be worse.
I feel like it would, bro. He's not part of the system. Like, he's really not.
He'll score the same amount of points, and he'll score the same amount of points. But the way that they
would you rather have Harrison Barnes or DeMar
DeRozan?
DeRozan?
Nice. What'd you say?
Give me a third option.
So would you rather have Harrison Barnes or DeMar DeRozan on the court?
Give me like Max Christie.
I think he'll fit in with what they do. To be honest, we're going to 10 seed now. This is where I have the Kings. Not much higher than you guys for some of the reasons you said. I think they'll be good this year offensively for sure. There could be a lot of teams if they have nights where their defense is just average. Like if De'Aaron Fox, DeMar, Keegan Murray, these guys can like play good defense for a game, like they'll easily win that game. So I think they'll be in the mix. But offensively they're gonna have it. I'm really confident in their offense, but their defense, especially when it gets down to the later part of the season, you got to grind out some of those games. I think that's where kind of they'll falter. Maybe they might even start off hot. I wouldn't be surprised to see this team, especially with all the offensive talent they have, start off really hot, but just kind of fall off because when the season gets going, you're not as healthy. You know what I mean? You got to be a little more physical. They might just fall off because of the defense. So,
especially I still think when like certain momentum drives happen in the NBA for certain teams offensively, I don't know if they can keep up from a defensive standpoint. Like, what if a team just drops 20 and then continuously keeps going and going and going, and which hurts them from an offensive standpoint because they can't keep up. So I think certain momentum drives are going to be showcased negatively for them. So,
yeah, I think, again, the defense, if they could just play like average, they'll win a couple of games. But I think another thing is with them, the bigger issue is they don't have a rim protector. So, like, you can have a bunch of bad defenders, but if you have someone like Wemby on the team or like Rudy Gobert, you can make it work. Rudy Gobert was playing with subpar defenders entire Utah career, but they were really good defense because of him. Sabonis just isn't that. So you don't have good perimeter defenders. You don't have a good rim protector. It's just going to be difficult to like overcome those things every single game.
Yeah. If that's the case, then the Lakers should be up next, buddy. The Lakers don't
Hey, hold on. My number 10 is the Kings as well. Before you go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the Kings don't have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So.
Oh God.
And rim protection, Anthony Davis too. So.
All right, you said your King. My 10 is This is where I have the Pelicans. I saw a report saying they were playing Herb Jones at center. That's all I needed to hear.
Oh wait.
He got clamps though. He got
literally your best.
They said that 6'7"
Herb
Jones, bro.
Respect Herb though. He got clamps.
Yeah, but you want to put him in positions to succeed. He's your best defender, and you're putting him at center. Anthony Davis is going to kill him.
Crazy.
All the top teams
Jokic. Oh my God, Jokic having a career night, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like at this level, when you're talking about the top teams in the East, their centers are really good. Like Chet is probably going to kill him too. Like you're putting him in positions to fail. I understand that you want to put talent out there with CJ, DeJounte, Ingram, and Zion, but you need fit to win games in the NBA, not just talent alone. We already had questions about the brand BI and Zion fit, and they're talking about trading BI or Zion. And you're not going to get the best out of your players putting Herb Jones at the 5 and playing with CJ McCollum and DeJounte Murray out there. I think there's only so much that they can do from offensive standpoint, and then defense is not going to help them either. So this is probably where I have them at 10. Just off sheer talent alone, they can win enough games to be the 10th seed. Also, like what you said too, Bez, with coaching, I don't know if Willie Green is going to be good enough to get these players where they need to be in the right position to succeed too.
He's on the hot seat. Like he's like possibly getting fired if this doesn't work. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
Who else you guys got at 10?
My number 10.
Gabe had Kings, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My number 10, Clippers. I think that they're gonna stink. But I think, but I do think that this is, even though he's not even going to start the season, Kawhi, he's going to come back at some point. He's probably going to play 50 games. We're like, oh my god,
Maybe.
All
ooh,
NBA.
look at him, he's averaging 27. Oh my god, he may make a third team if he can play 50 some games. He may make a third team. April, he's not going to be playing.
We're not talking about April though. We're not talking about
I
April.
know, that's what I'm saying. So I do think that they can come. I don't think the team's that good. The West is super
competitive.
Yeah, the West is super competitive. So I think that they'll be able to squeeze into the last play-in spot. But I think between Kawhi having to sit a lot of games, if he does come back and play a healthy stretch, mixed with the lack of talent outside of Harden, I think that they're gonna just, squeeze into that play-in spot. I give them a little more credit than the rest of these two, but not nearly as much as you, obviously. So
The Flippers.
the Buffalo Braves, 5 plays in a row.
I can give my 9.
They changed their logo, Hassan. They changed their logo.
Yeah, got a new arena. Have you seen the Intuit Dome's like new features?
Yeah, it's actually pretty sick.
What's the new features like? What? Give me like a breakdown.
It's kind of hard to explain with everything that I have, but you can play like games on your chair, and they'll have like if you're the loudest, they can track your seat, and they'll throw like shirts, or like the shirt cannon will come from the top of the scoreboard.
I'm screaming.
I'll move my car real fast.
The scoreboard. You gotta move your car, and then what else? They'll show like the player's stats in like a very cool fashion on the scoreboard, and the scoreboard's like 362. They have like a 360 ring on the scoreboard.
Okay, they got some cool shit. We might have to go to a Laker Clipper game then.
Then I think the seats are fire too. But
They are.
We can do that. I can give my 9 then.
Hold on. Everyone said 10. What did this guy say? He said Clippers. All right.
Yeah.
All right, go to your 9 then.
This is where I have Los Angeles Clippers. I don't have them too high up, but 9 is good enough. I
thought you had them like 6. I was about to be like, bro.
Not that high. But I think they'll definitely be a play-in team. And with the news of Kawhi Leonard not starting off the season, and like I said, with the bad vibes, I feel like they won't have the greatest start off. When Kawhi plays, he is a top 10, 15 player, not top 10, but top 15 player in the NBA, easily all NBA talent. And I believe in the talent of James Harden. This will be a resurgence here. People will put respect on his name. He said that this is the best. He's in the best shape of his life. He'll be an all-star player. He'll bring everybody around him to play at a high level. And Houston, James Harden won't be back, but I expect a clean 25, 10, and 6.
Wow.
At the start of the season. His usage rate will probably be one of the highest in the NBA. And if he can compete, or if he can intake that level of usage, then there's nothing stopping him. Just give him the ball, get out of his way. I saw tween, step back. Shit. The step back will become alive. He'll be cooking. And James Harden is the faith and fuel of this offense, and he'll come back this year. He'll have an all-star level season to start off the year. If they're winning games, he might be an all-star this year. So
Hassan,
I have faith.
Hassan, I didn't know you had a new job. I didn't know you had a new job at Krispy Kreme, but with all that glaze. Jesus Christ. Was that like, did you write that down? Was that off the dome? Was that off the dome?
Yeah.
You know your guy's cooked when you got to do the hand rub to talk about him. You already know he's cooked. You already know it's over.
I just need to start cooking up. I don't care if he's 35 years old. When have you ever seen him fall off a cliff? He's producing every role that you needed him to produce in every season of his career besides the playoffs. We're talking about regular season James Harden. In regular season James Harden, you can't question his efficiency and his play style.
You know what this sounds like, Bez? Hassan's been in like a lot of like Clipper hater Twitter spaces, just like defending Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, listening to you.
That's what Hassan sounds like. He had like 4 lines prepared.
What was the quote that he said a couple weeks ago, that the NBA had to adjust to him or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. He's funny, bro. He got good quotes. I'll give him that. But
he does.
Honey bun Harden.
Yeah, this is where I have the Clippers, bro. I think they'll be good because of James Harden.
Shout out to Harden. I actually think he'll have a good year. I'm actually not going to disagree with you on that. I just think the team's going to suck regardless.
Yeah. I can agree. I don't think we can agree on or come to a crossroads on that. But
I mean, 9's not that high. I thought you were going to have like a solidified playoff team, but yeah, yeah, they're going to be hovering in the bottom half of the play-in, if anything.
Yeah, teams are too good in the West.
What do you have, Bez?
For number 9, this is where I have the Pelicans. Kind of talked about it, the Herb Jones thing. I think they're still good enough defensively, like in other aspects, that when they're not playing like a really good center, they can still make it work. Like looking at a team like the Rockets even. I like Sengun, but I don't think he's a guy that you just have to put some elite big men on him. Looking at a team like the Kings too. Shout out to maybe Sabonis kind of give him the work, but
Yeah,
Warriors are definitely a team you could beat without having a elite like big defender. So
they match up well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think, pick and choose. You're going to play the East teams. Those will be easier. So they'll still be hovering in the play-in. If Zion can stay healthy too, I think that's solidified. You got a really good point guard finally in DeJounte Murray who could distribute the ball. So I think they'll be good enough to get wins. Playing good defense.
Though, their bench is not the greatest.
Yeah, Trey Murphy's hurt already too, so he was going to come off the bench, and now you kind of lose him. But, Jose, they got some pieces, but yeah, I just think – overall, they got too many questions. This team has like more questions than things I'm confident in. You know what I mean? With Zion's health, with the center situation, Brandon Ingram getting traded too. We don't know if that'll happen. So I'm gonna be safe and put him at 9 because I do think they could be better if everything clicks. But at the same time, if things don't go well, they could be even lower. So
they don't have enough consistency for me. It's like a variable. They're like they could be like 10th or like 6th. I mean,
I could see him being like as low as 13th. To be honest, like if shit goes bad, if
shit goes really bad.
If Zion doesn't play either, like that's gonna be huge for them. No Zion and no center, like it's gonna be really bad.
I have the same for my number 9 seed, same as you.
Man, we got the same list.
Man.
Word for word, bar for
bar. For bar.
What about Omari now that he's back?
They muted?
Why you mute? Who they got?
Very good. You're good.
Pelicans at 9. Me and Best had Pelicans at 9.
Yeah,
I also got the Pelicans.
Okay.
I think that you guys touched. I'm sure you guys touched on most of the stuff, but yeah, them not having the center, Zion's health is always a question. Like, I do love the DeJounte addition, so I want to give them some credit. I think they'll be relatively competitive. Yeah, I love me. I'm a DeJounte believer, so I think that they were in need of a real point guard. Last year, that was one of their glaring needs. They had a Jose Alvarado out there. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a real point guard. He's just like a Marcus Smart. So it's just
not even. That's crazy comparison.
He's a Tony Allen.
Yeah,
not even, bro. Relax. We're comparing CJ McCollum like defensive studs. Like, relax.
No, I said Jose.
You said Alvarado.
No, you said McCollum's like a Marcus Smart.
No, I said Jose.
Alvarado. You said Alvarado.
Even so, Jose's not even like that.
And McCollum's also not a
McCollum's a non-factor.
Because he played point guard for them basically last year. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think DeJounte Murray will give them a better cohesive offense. But unless they feel that center need, you know what I mean, make a trade. Hopefully, I think they'll be higher if they make a midseason trade for like a Claxton or something somehow. I don't know. I think he just signed, so I don't know.
No, definitely not Claxton. Got to be someone else.
But you know what I mean, like somebody who is
Clint Capella. Clint Capella been rumored.
Yeah, even Capella would be a one. What are you saying?
He said they have one defender, which is Herb,
which is Cap though. I mean, they just don't have they just don't have big.
Murray's
defenders.
a good defender.
Yeah, DeJounte and Trey Murphy could play defense.
The only thing I don't like too is like offensively. There's only one basketball. Someone's gonna have to take. CJ McCollum's obviously probably going to take a less of a load, but still, DeJounte Murray, BI, and Zion.
I don't like BI on that team, to be honest. Like,
someone's going to get traded.
I like Trey Murphy fitting like as a fit better because all he has to he's a good shooter. All he has to do is shoot, catch and shoot. That's his entire game, and he's
going to shoot on the starting 5. Like the spacing might be terrible.
That's why I said Brandon Ingram. If they traded him for a center, like I feel a lot more confident with this team because Trey Murphy. You could, he's not as good as Ingram, but he fits better with what they need.
Yeah, exactly. Trey Murphy and Herb Jones starting is way better, is more ideal in my opinion.
Yeah, with Zion and that's still a tall team, long team.
Yeah, and they can space the floor.
Yeah, and if they get that center, then they'll be like in a better position. But I don't want to I said I want to grade them off for what ifs. You know what I mean? I'm taking them as they look right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have the potential to be higher, but right now I see them being 9.
Fair.
All right, so let's talk about our 8th seed. Who wants to
start
with this
teams?
I'll go first. I'll go first.
You want to
go? My number 8th seed. This is where the Rockets start getting in the mix, bro. So I know Hassan has the Rockets very low. I, for one, am pretty much a Rocket believer, as I have been since last year. The addition of Reed Shepherd, the man's a straight up walking W. I love that man. His game is nice. Calling him the Rookie of the Year already. You know me. I love everyone else on the team. I can name the players: Sengun, Smith, Jalen Green, who has some big shoes to fill this year. I really think he's going to take a leap. Hope he does, because if he does, we're looking at a really good Rockets team coached by Ime Udoka. No more Silas dude, whatever that dude was doing 2 years ago. Now they had a 1 year under. They had 1 year under Udoka. They had a 40, 41, 44 win season, and now they've gelled a little bit more and they've added Reed Shepherd. I really think this team is going somewhere this year.
I still have questions about the Sengun and Jalen Green fit. And also, even though I'm a Jalen Green believer, you still have to see him produce at the beginning of the season, not at the end where he goes crazy when games don't matter as much. So that's why I had him a bit lower. Also, their age and development, I feel like, is a year behind from being like one of those top teams. I feel like, well, me personally, I obviously have the Clippers and Warriors higher because of their like veteran leadership and the stars that they have on their team. I'm taking those stars over the stars of the Rockets.
Yeah, you're taking things that are tried and true. I understand you. I get your logic.
Let me interject.
I could see like them being 8. I mean, I only can see it if Sengun is like an all-star season. Like the only reason OKC was so high is because SGA was literally an MVP candidate, and he led his team to. And they had like the role
That
players.
team comp is actually insane too.
You need an MVP candidate to get to that level. So
I mean, OKC is the exact same team.
You need an MVP candidate to go to the 1st seed, Hassan, not to the 8th seed, bro. What are you talking about?
To be at 8, so you think that they're going to be?
No, you're talking about SGA to the 1st seed, right?
Not
like
MVP level, but you need all stars to be an 8th seed. Like if they're the 8th seed this year, someone's going to be an all star on that team.
I mean, NBA is pretty tough nowadays for all star caliber. Like Sengun's like caliber, like he could, like he's very good. You know, like he might not make the team, but he produced.
Someone has to make the jump though. And if Sengun does, he'd be an all star.
We'll see.
Who do you have best? Do you have the same as him or?
Yeah, I have the Rockets at 8 as well. I think they're one of the deepest teams in the league. And even though I have questions about Jalen Green, I think even if he doesn't play well or just struggles or overall just isn't the guy that maybe people think he is, I think they're deep enough where they can kind of mask those issues. They have Cam Whitmore, who's a great scorer as well, can kind of come in and help that a little bit. Reed Shepherd, we talked about him, all the promise he's shown. I think they're literally 10 deep, and you could even talk more because center, they got Steven Adams, Sengun, Jabari Smith, I think has been sneakily really good in the preseason. Still got Tari Eason, who didn't even play last year because he was injured, but I really like him.
He's so good.
You got Dylan Brooks, obviously a pest. You know what I mean? He has a value to a certain degree to be kind of like irritating
100%.
Patrick Beverly role. And Amen Thompson, I really like Amen Thompson. I feel like he's like Ben Simmons without the mental issues. You know what I mean? Like because they both got like that positional versatility. They're like big wings that can pass. They both can't really shoot as well, but he's at least willing to cut to the basket. He does all the little things. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to shoot the shots either, even though he's not really hitting them. Like he's working on it and he's getting better. So I'm really high on Amen Thompson for them being just like an all defensive, consistent player for them. And Fred VanVleet, again, steady vet. So I just like the overall team, the depth, the coaching. I honestly think they could even be higher if, like you said, like the Şengün's an MVP candidate or something like that. But I just don't think they'll have that. But just because of the depth and the coaching, I think they could get to an 8th seed.
That's not bad. Yeah, I could see it from all the things that you said. Like everything has to go their way to get to the 8th seed. But
I don't even think so. I think this is like around even for
That's
them.
consistent. I think it's a consistent placement.
I think they could get up to like the 6th seed if they have things go really well. If things don't go well, I could see them being a 12th seed. But I put them right there in the middle at number 8.
How many wins did the 6th seed have last season? Like 50? 48? 49 last year?
The 6th seed had 49 wins, and
Dude,
the
and
Rockets had 41, so it's not that crazy.
See, the West is really close. It's all the spots. The spots really are really close. So it could be like 1 or 2 game flip.
Yeah. It really have to be like Kobe and Shaq to get to the 6th.
No, this team is good, bro. Come on.
Nah, dude. For the Rockets to get to 6th seed, they literally have to be Jalen.
6 ain't even that crazy though.
It's not crazy,
dude. It is
a 51 team.
When you look at look at the competitions, all the competition in the West, that is pretty crazy being a 6th seed.
There's only 4 teams that I can say for sure the Rockets won't be better than. The other ones, it's all up in the air for me.
Nah,
I can see.
You can't definitively tell me other than the 4. You can't tell me.
Like
I agree.
Besides the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Mavs, the Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's the only 4 that I'm like 100% are better than the Rockets. The other ones, I think probably I would say right now are better, but it's not like if the Rockets ended up having a higher seed, I wouldn't be like, wow, unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Even
like they're close to each other. Like they're close.
Do I believe in their age? Do I believe in like how they'll fare in like 82 games a season? Like, are they going to hold up? You know
the thing is, you talk about their age though, and like they do have some young players, but they got a good mix of vets. Fred VanVleet, he's not young. Jalen Green's in his 5th year. Dylan
dude's
Brooks
still
is a
young, though.
vet, but it's like, okay, I mean, you say vet, you're like 6 years in the league. That guy's a vet, right? Like you said that. So
I remember that combo.
I did say that. I did say that.
Steven Adams off their bench, like
So
they
we
still
have
got Jeff
questions
Green.
about,
They got
like,
vets.
Can this team mesh with all their offensive weapons together? Like, that's the biggest if, because we've seen Sengun go off at the beginning of the season, and then Jalen Green has a hard struggle or struggles early on, and then when Sengun goes out, Jalen Green starts to do well. So can they mesh well as a team together? All like is the biggest question for me. I
But
believe
to my
in
point earlier, though, like they're so deep that if one of these guys ain't performing on a given night, like you just have, as long as their ego doesn't get hurt, like if Jalen Green gets upset because Cam Whitmore's playing well and they're letting him play more minutes, like that's gonna obviously hurt them. But we just got to see how they take
how
it.
much do you like? How much stock does ownership and management put into Jalen Green playing? Like how many minutes?
Question.
Or is Ime Udoka like fully in charge of this roster and he decides the lineups? You know,
because last year Jalen Green wasn't closing out some games because he was playing poorly. So
Yeah.
like, are they gonna still give him that leeway this year, or is it gonna be like, oh, okay, well you're gonna get benched because we have other guys like Reed Shepard, let's say, can do what you're doing better today.
Yeah. Who do you have at 8, Omari? I want to be last for mine.
I know why.
Yeah, me too.
Have you said the Warriors yet, Hassan?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother.
That's what I was thinking of, Bez. I'm like, he hasn't said a team yet.
I'm going the Golden State Warriors.
Flight team stand up.
Yeah, 8 seed. I think this is very, very generous. I don't know why you putting your finger down. I thought you would be happy. You should be jumping for joy right now. This is a generous spot.
He's got it higher than both me and Gabe right now.
Yeah.
He's a
And then there's
generous
some guy who
spot.
hasn't
You are
said their name yet.
insane.
Okay.
You are
Yeah, I'm
truly
mad at it.
insane
I'm mad.
for having them higher. But Steph Curry is still Steph Curry at the end of the day. He has showed no sign of regressing. I think that I do agree when it comes to the Clay situation last year. That was look, I'm not even a Warriors fan, swirly. I'm just calling it like I see it. I think that as long as Buddy can play like he's been playing, you know what I mean? As long as he doesn't have like a pressure drop off playing for a good franchise and play with Steph Curry, whatever, he's gonna contribute more than Klay Thompson did last year in the minutes that he plays. I've been a big believer in Moody. I like Pods a lot. Kuminga, he took a step. He needs to take another step if they want to be like a competitive team. But, hopefully he does. Chase Jackson-Davis is like, he's okay. He's young. Yeah. He's a second-round pick. It's the second year. You don't really expect a whole bunch. But I think Draymond being there too, as long as he can literally not get suspended for an extended amount of time and barring their team's health, I think that – and Bez mentioned Wiggins. He was in like some type of funk mentally last year for whatever reason. So it's just hopefully he can play better. But I think that the power of Steph Curry and Draymond in that system and the addition of Buddy Hield are going to help them at least scrape into an 8 seed. And like I said, that's being generous.
Too. Anderson's good.
Kyle Anderson is a really good role player. I've always appreciated his game.
He's your backup center pretty much, to be honest.
Yeah, you guys still have stars or did he leave?
Who?
No, he's overseas, bro.
No, he's not even in the NBA anymore.
I
like to play on the team, but
yeah, I was like, pretty good.
Yeah, I like Sarge too.
He's a good piece for you.
All right, who's your number 8, Hassan? Who do you want to?
This is where I have the Los Angeles Lakers at number 8. I think they'll hover around where they were last year. The team is the same. You guys didn't make any improvements. You just had Connect and Bronny James as the two tests. Who else did you sign? It was only Frazier.
Respect the coach.
Koloko.
Respect my coach.
Yeah, respect JJ, bro. That's our biggest acquisition.
I like JJ Redick.
I'm literally not even going to react to this.
He's a rookie coach. I feel like LeBron James has more power than JJ Redick does for this team. And with that being said, he's going to be better than Darvin Ham for sure. But what's got better but the Lakers didn't go down interesting?
We did get better, though.
Who? With coaching?
Yes, exactly. That's a big part of the game.
Yeah, I'm not as big a believer as you guys are in JJ Redick. I think his lack of experience from a coaching standpoint, him just being a podcaster and getting a head coaching job is questionable.
Just being a podcaster is crazy.
Darvin Ham's worse than a podcaster.
He didn't have a tenure in the NBA. He put in a tenure.
Him just being a podcaster got him a job.
That's how bad Darvin Ham was. That's what you got to think about. Darvin Ham was so bad we hired a podcaster.
I want him to succeed, but I don't know how good he'll be. I don't think he'll be as generational as some may say. But yeah, like Omari loves to say.
Who said generational? Hold on, wait.
Some people think he's gonna be the next Pat Riley.
Who said this?
I've seen like Laker reports.
Bro went to Lake Show Yo and said that saw reports.
Bro, Lake Show Yo doesn't count as a reliable source.
From Lake Show, yeah. I think LeBron James and Anthony Davis are good enough to get you to the 8th seed in this.
They're the best duo in the NBA.
Sorry.
Yo, Worley's hilarious.
What did he say? What?
He said they only have one-way player. One way? That means just offense?
Yeah, one-way players. He said that.
These guys said nothing but negativity the whole time. Not one positive.
Nah, he said he liked the Rockets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got to put.
He said
Rockets cool. Rockets cool.
Wait, that's not Geva. Who's that?
But
I don't know. I mean,
yeah, shout out to
Worley. They're going to basically be the same team as last year. Oh, back to Omari's, what Omari said, like the rotation, if they kept that same starting 5, I think JJ Redick's definitely going to play into that, and they'll get a couple more wins, but not to what Omari may expect, like not a 10-win increase or anything like that. It's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard for me to see a different outcome from last year in terms of wins because you have basically the same roster. Maybe, yes, the schemes will be different, but I don't know how much I believe in JJ Redick to push this team to a higher seed. So I'll put him at 8 for today. They could be higher if he's better coach, but it has to be coaching that is the difference for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that right into my 7th seed, which is the LA Lakers.
There you go.
This is crazy. I'm not even trolling.
No, it's funny that you're shocked, but like you said, although I think the coaching will improve our team, the West is just so tough, and because we didn't make any actual changes to our roster, it's just going to limit how much better we can be, I think. I do think we got better in terms of actual competent coaching. We run actual sets. We run actual plays. Guys aren't just standing and watching LeBron and AD cook, you know what I mean? Like, real basketball is being played on the court, so just because of that, this is the most I've seen from Max Christie in the last 3 years. Darvin Ham was literally holding him hostage. So, just off of that, I think we're going to be better. We're going to be more fun to watch, and just literally watching the Lakers will be a better experience just because of our offense being run. Speeches. But yeah, no more motivational speeches, no more go hard on them dudes, you know what I mean?
Whoa, pause, brother.
He said it, not me. Hey, yo. But yeah, I don't think they just didn't do enough to the roster to get them higher, in my opinion. But I do think the coaching will be very evident. It's just there's still a ceiling to the team because we literally have no other big men outside of AD. The defensive wings are lacking, to say the least. Like Max Christie and Cam Reddish are our best wing defenders. So we need what were you going to say?
I was going to say also the question marks about health. Can the team stay healthy too?
I guess you could argue that as well. So I think we just need more talent, if anything. We'll see if they do anything during the season. They said they want to trade for a big man, and they're open to using the pick. So we'll see. But right now, the talent, I think they still got some work to do. But the coach is definitely going to be an improvement.
I think you guys will start off hot to start the season because of the new schemes and the coaching. But then everybody gets their breaking point in terms of when they start losing more games or when they get figured out at some point. And I think it'll happen mid-season.
The thing is, I don't think we'll get figured out. There's no figured out, bro. The way JJ runs this shit is just he actually looks at what's going on and adjusts based on the statistics and how he's looking at the game. He's actually,
I can say hit the wall. Everybody loses games. I wouldn't say much. Pretty much.
You're not figuring out LeBron, AD, then AR, then D'Lo, then you're not figuring that shit out, bro.
The difference
is the same thing last year, buddy.
Okay, I want to make an actual point. The thing is, though, it's not even about if we lose. It's just how we lose. Are we blowing games? Or is the coach making bad choices to lose us these games? If we're losing because fucking Cam Reddish can't guard Jaylen Brown, it is what it is. You know what I mean? If he's getting cooked and we don't have anyone to put on him, it's one thing. But it's if the guys are not doing anything offensively and standing around and that's how we lose, it's a whole different story. So I'm expecting us not to be as good, but it's just the way we lose needs to be not embarrassing, and it needs to be not leaving Andrew Nembhard wide open for a fucking 3-pointer type shit. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit I'm talking about.
Yeah. How you finish games.
Yeah.
Well,
so
my
Lakers at 7.
This is where I have the Golden State Warriors. I think I always will believe in the talent of Steph Curry. I think the additions that we've this guy gave. This man's been on my meat all night, bro.
That's right. So,
But I think
I'm sleeping on him.
yeah. Time to sleep,
I got the shades. Put the shades on.
All right, go,
I
continue.
should be
Sorry.
putting on the shades for the hater blinders, bro. This man's been hating all night. But here, my reasoning is that I think I can't even see you.
Wait. No. I wanted just to be Hassan.
So I can go on my rant, my Warriors rant.
No, just go off. Just go off.
Yeah. So I think Warriors will be number 7. Like I said, talent of Stephen Curry, the chemistry with him and Draymond Green will definitely have. I think the team needs to or will improve in terms of like talent, not talent, but growth. Like Jonathan Kuminga is going to be going into his 4th season. Moses Moody is going to be going into his 4th season. If you don't show us who you are now or the talent that you have now, then there's no point in having you guys on the roster at this point. So I think improvement by our younger guys and Pajemski, also the additions that we had with Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, and DeAnthony Melton. I think we meshed better than we did last year. Felt like we were force feeding Clay minutes and the ball. The guy literally went 0 for 10 in a playoff game, and we still played him over Moses Moody, who was hot. And you can hear my rant on that video if you want to watch. But yeah, I think the addition of our team, us playing hard, having Stephen Curry, and the makeup, the roster, the chemistry, I think we added players that are going to make us look better than what we should be. And I think Steve Kerr will pull it around, finally not playing Klay Thompson 30 minutes a night. So also with what Omari said, Buddy Hield, I don't think he'll be as good as Klay Thompson, but you can give him I think he'll average like 13 to 15 points. But the crucial thing is if he's playing bad,
I'm not gonna lie,
benched.
Hassan. I want to interrupt you. I think he could be as good as Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson wasn't that good.
Last year.
He was averaging 17. But
I think Buddy Hield can easily average 17.
Crucial thing is he'll actually bench Buddy Hield if he's playing bad. He didn't bench Klay Thompson when he was playing bad. So I guess he owed something to Klay Thompson. I don't know.
It's because of the 4 rings you love talking about so much. Seniority, loyalty, blah, blah, blah.
Respect.
So that's already out the window. And so if some people are playing bad, his rotations will actually be better than what they were last year and showcase how good of a coach he was the previous years. And as long as Klay Thompson, as long as Draymond Green stays healthy and doesn't do any BS to get suspended, we'll be okay. And I think that'll be enough to get us to the 7th seed this year. And the rest will be history in the playoffs. So.
Yeah, the team will be history in the playoffs.
Aisha Curry has to do her part to keep Steph motivated. Carry 14-year-old players.
Hassan, I want to ask you a question while around the Warriors real quick. How do I word this? How much of a probability do you think Kuminga has of getting to the level you think he's going to get? I just want to know your thought.
What'd you say?
How much of a probability do you think Kuminga will have to get to this next level that he needs to get to? Do you think?
What level do you think I have him at? I think he'll just average 20.
That's it.
But haven't been muted this whole time, bro?
No, I
don't
can't hear
think so.
I hear you now.
Oh, okay. What the hell? For some reason,
I think he'll average 20, and he'll be our second leading scorer for sure. There's nobody else is going to have as much usage as him. And with the ball, and especially with how long he's been in the offense, there's no reason he shouldn't be averaging 20 points per game with this roster unless he's just bad.
So you 100% think he's averaging 20? 100%.
Yeah, 20 or more.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can average
Anything
20.
more? Anything more?
I think the lowest he'll average is 20. The highest I want him to average is 24, but I don't know.
Okay.
No, lowest being 20 is crazy.
I think with
he could average 16, brother. He could average 16, bro.
He can still have a good year.
Who else is going to score on that
points.
team? Or who else is going to average 20? He's not. If he averages 20, I'll be surprised. I think he'll average 14, 15 pods.
All right, he's not. Well,
that should be starting.
You might.
I mean,
right,
Wiggins maybe. If Wiggins is actually as good as he's supposed to be, I'm done. I'm done believing in him. I don't believe he'll be as good as.
Yeah, you're right. You might be right. 20. There's no other scores on that team. Maybe Buddy could average 20 on a good efficiency.
If Buddy is averaging 20, something's wrong with this team. We're not winning games. But if he is averaging 20 and helps us win, good for us. But I don't think he'll be that important in the offense. So.
I could see this team being a different player every night. Maybe one night is Pods going crazy, one night is Kuminga, one night Buddy Hield hits 6 threes or something.
Yeah, so the reason I believe in the team is because I feel like coaching will be better, and then if everybody buys into the system, how it used to be, then we'll be better than what the talent shows. I like the reason why I believe in the Clippers. I guess I think Ty Lue will get the average players to be playing better than what they really are, and Stephen Curry's gravity or the way that he plays will get players to be playing better. So 7th is their highest in my opinion.
All right. Who else? 7th seed?
Omari, right?
Both of them, I think.
Who do you got, Gabe?
No, I think I said Lakers at 7, same as you.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Nah, I don't think
Lakers
you
at
said
7. I said it now.
Mhm.
Lakers are 7th. Pretty much everything Bez said. I mean, yeah, I get it. We want to talk about how Lakers didn't get better technically, but bro, the vibes are immaculate, bro. I'm telling you right now, it just you could just see it, bro. People want to play better. Like even in preseason, bro, people want to play better. So
I don't even think it's want to play better. I think they actually know what they're doing and have a defined thing that they need to do in the play or in the offense. It's not just run around and pray to God the
there's
ball bounces
structure
to you.
now, and which I love to see. There's
I
structure,
agree.
and if there's structure, then you start building on that. And once you build on that, you start
Nice.
improving. Which before it was just Best said it. Whoever offense let LeBron and AD cook, which I hate that the whole time. I hated watching it. Some Laker fans loved it, but real Laker fans do not like that. So
Yeah.
seeing this is a really really good thing.
I'm curious to see how they respond in adversity because every team kind of reaches adversity, and to see how JJ Redick responds as a coach and how the players respond is going to be interesting to see. And that will help, I guess, determine what seed you guys are.
It's a good question because we got a bunch of folders on the team. So
Yeah, exactly. And how much will LeBron listen to the coach until he says, "Okay, I'm LeBron James"? We'll see.
We shall see.
All right, so 7. My 7 is where a hot take starts.
do they?
I don't know if
Free
y'all
the
expecting
Phoenix
this one.
Free the Phoenix Suns.
7, I got the Grizzlies.
Oh,
That is well. I don't know if it's a hot take.
that's
It's not a
not
hot
too
take,
hot.
but
That's not too hot.
I have
disagree.
them a lot higher.
Same.
All right, well, it's a hot take to y'all. So
Hmm.
I got the Grizzlies at 7. I think that I'm happy that Jaw's coming back. I mean, he almost got injured. He's fine though. I was gonna say that he was getting injured.
That ankle injury.
I think that he's coming back, but they're gonna still need some time to gain that continuity back again. I think that we have yet to see how good Zach Edey really is in a league setting, because big people like that who are kind of on the slower side, although he has somewhat of an offensive game. They already have 3 rotation guys injured. Although they already have 3 offensive. This nigga just got fucking. I hate when I do that. You read something and you read what.
Yeah, you gotta finish your
You
point
gotta
first.
lock in, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on Edie, right? Yeah, I don't think that, I'm not sure if he'll we have yet to see if his skill set and his value will translate to the NBA game. They needed a center so they can potentially have filled that role, but I just think that with them having to reintegrate Jaw again and having to get that cohesiveness again, the other teams are just already a step ahead of them in terms of generally their cohesiveness, and their talent is higher on a player basis, in my opinion. So
I feel like their cohesiveness just kind of runs with Jaw, and they feed off of his energy. And every year that he's healthy, he's always a high seed. So I gotta believe in the talent of Ja Moran and the pieces they've added around him and the development, especially coaching too, is big over there. So.
Yeah, I think health was just a big thing for them last year, and we know they could win even missing guys like Ja in the past. So
yeah,
Smart's still there, right? I think he's a good addition.
Yeah.
You know what I like about that team? Well, the fact that you like that. What was it? Is it 2 years ago now? The season where they won those 20 games without him, but then when he came back from his suspension, they won a 9 or 10 game win streak. So I feel like that team has always dialed in when Ja's there, and they've shown in the past where they don't need him to win, but they could. But that time where he came back from the suspension really proved it to me. Bro, these guys are gonna go on a run, and they're gonna do it the second he's back. It was crazy. I have them higher. I
do think they'll be a good team, but it's just I think that the West is kind of so. It's gonna be. I think the West is gonna be closer this year than ever. I don't know what the spread was between 1 and 8 last year, but
I think it honestly depends the most on Ja. Because if he's there, they can win a lot of games, even if some of the other guys are out. Like with Bane out, with Jackson out, they can still pull out some wins. But if Ja's not there, it's just going to be a lot harder because he's really the engine of the team.
Yeah.
So like the Lakers were 8th and they were 10 games back the first. I think it's gonna be way less like this year.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So 6th seed.
I have the Grizzlies here to piggy bank off Omari at number 6. I think for most of the reasons that he said, but I feel like John Moran is all-world talent. I feel like everything goes to John Moran through this team, and the roster that they've had has been together for like 4 years now. They just got rid of Dylan Brooks at this point, so I feel like pressure is there for them to compete. If they don't compete this year, or have some type of success in the regular season and the playoffs, then we might be seeing some trades happen soon. I feel like another year of Desmond Bane's progression, JJJ's progression, team chemistry all together, additions of a Marcus Smart paired up with John Morant, it's going to be very helpful. And I think even though they were higher seeds last year, the West is definitely tougher from those years before. But I think they can still compete, and for that reason, I have them at number 6.
I have the Phoenix Suns here. I just talking about the Grizzlies mainly because I do like what they have to offer in the regular season more than the Suns. That's why I have the Suns at the 6th seed. And now, obviously, their star power is pretty damn near unmatched. You have KD and Booker. They got Tyus Jones on like a cheap deal, which is great for the team. But I mean, health and then Beal being like a factor, and that also like makes it weird for me. Their center is still a little iffy. So in the regular season, in playoffs, anything could happen. Star power, I firmly believe star power always carries in the playoffs. But in the regular season, like night in, night out, their health is kind of a question to me. Then they don't really have any answers for that still. So I don't think they're gonna they're still gonna be like 6th or 5th, but I have them in the 6th seed just because of that.
Yeah, I got the Suns at 6 as well. I really like what I've seen from them this preseason. I think with Budenholzer, you can expect a good regular season team. Nurkic, their big situation, kind of iffy, but I think he's going to shoot a lot more threes this year. I think when Budenholzer came over to the Bucks, he's the one who got Brook Lopez to shoot all those threes, so I think you're going to see a lot of that from Nurkic this season. The real concern I kind of have with them is just their lack of size in general outside of Nurkic. All you got is like Mason Plumlee, and Kevin Durant has like your only big defender, so that's kind of an issue. But outside of that, I really like what I've seen from the team. I think they have good role players. They did good in the offseason considering they had literally no cap space. Getting Tyus Jones, Royce O'Neal, bringing back Grayson Allen with literally zero cap space is pretty good. So, but a hot take about this team. I think that Bradley Beal should come off the bench. I don't like him in the starting lineup.
Good hot take.
I don't like him in the starting lineup. I think that Grayson Allen or Royce O'Neal should start either if you want the shooting from Grayson Allen or the defense from Royce O'Neal. I think Bradley Beal is just like you put him, Devin Booker, and Tyus Jones in the that's like the smallest starting backcourt, and none of those guys play defense. Like I guess Booker can play a little defense, but if he's your best defender, good luck, buddy.
And you need him to put his energy in the drop.
Because he makes $50 million, he's not going to ever get benched. But I think he should come off the bench.
It's a great idea, though. In theory, I love that. I love that idea. Too bad he just.
Yeah, I feel like once a star player goes on the bench, it's like the beginning of the end. Like Westbrook going and becoming the 6th man, and then chemistry issues are off too. So I feel like it could hurt the team.
Still player dependent. So not always. It's still like some players have the like mental fortitude to accept the role.
You have to be willing to accept the role.
Still give your best in that role. Yeah.
He's just an awkward fit there because he doesn't play elite defense. He's not an elite shooter and needs the ball in his hands. But it's like, I want the ball in Devin Booker's hands. And we also got Tyus Jones, who is an elite passer. So it's like he's just so awkward on the team right now.
Yeah, it'd be a better fit for him coming off the bench. But I saw the podcast he was on the other day. It seems like he still thinks he's at a all-star level. So it won't be good from like a chemistry standpoint.
Let it go, buddy.
If he's coming off the bench mentally. So I think he should, but it probably won't work out like that.
Yeah. So
that hot take though.
That'll be a great idea.
Games, then I think
if they actually do that, I can see them going up in rankings. I'm not gonna lie, because that'll make their team composition way better, like 100%. Yeah.
From what I've seen in the preseason, I can see like little flashes of them improving on things they did last year. Because Frank Vogel, I think shout out to him. He won a championship with the Lakers, but he's also one of those coaches that on offense, we're just going to stand around and watch these guys cook. So it's like now they got Budenholzer. Even though he kind of crumbles during the playoffs, he does actually run stuff during the regular season, and he actually gets wins. So
the regular season coach.
He's a good defensive coach.
Season merchant.
Who's your 6, Omari?
So my 6, Worley gonna love this one. This is where I got the Lakers. I know I said my take. I think I said it last week or the week before, whatever. One of my takes was the Lakers will earn an outright playoff spot. I think that I know I've touched on it on many pods, but the coaching difference and the lineup change is going to make a big difference considering how because of the large amount of games we played with shitty lineups and bad adjustments. That's so many games we lost like towards the beginning of the season that and just in the entire season in general that we didn't need to. I also think it adds to a cohesiveness. I think not having that cohesiveness in the lineup the entire year, like we changed. How many didn't we have like the most? Like at some point in the year, I remember it was like we've had like the most starting lineups like out of the league.
So crazy.
Yeah, like and so I think if we can actually have you guys Lakers fans, no. I think if we can actually have a good amount of cohesiveness for the entire year, I think that will automatically contribute to that gap in wins, even if we haven't made a huge talent jump. I'm still hoping, obviously, we do something by the deadline or, if there's any good free agents somewhere available. But I think that we had a very good team last year. Unfortunately, we ran into the Nuggets. I feel like we could have won a playoff series if it wasn't the Nuggets, but I think that we'll be in a much improved team, and I think that hopefully we'll get a good, healthy year, obviously barring help. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like that coaching can only take you so far having the same roster. But but
I think
that roster's OP though.
Yeah, could be the 6th seed. So
like we had 47 wins last year. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, a lot of teams had 47 though.
Yeah, but we got. It's like we have a lot more context into as why we have lower wins and why I think we'll have because it's like if we get. I truthfully believe Ham was worth a 5 game difference. Like the nigga he's done 5 games. Like I guarantee we can find 5 games where he fucks shit up. You know what I mean?
That's fact. You ain't lying.
Bad.
Yeah, and that's literally the difference between 52 wins. Like, so I think that hopefully we'll get a good season from D'Lo's pretty good in the regular season. AR keeps taking steps each year. I mean, last year he was kind of similar to the year before, but I think that he's solid. You know, I mean, no matter what, he's always solid.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious to see how JJ Redick is doing.
But imagine, Hassan, like the Lakers versus Nuggets again, and then they get smoked again, like 3 years in a row. I might cry.
You will cry.
Especially this Nuggets team, dude. Like I didn't even honestly, I didn't
cry,
want to
bro.
put as high as I put them.
The rants will be legendary this year. The Lakers are perform the same way.
Oh, I can't. Nah, dude. I hope they cook them. Shit on the Nuggets, dude.
Yeah.
I hope we get a 4-5 matchup somehow. Huh?
I said, well said. Lakers at 6. I can see it happening.
Yeah,
I'm not even trolling. I can see it.
That was my take before.
We have 5 seed now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Let me address this dude words for you. JJ Redick did a very good job of hiring, like very experienced and very I would just say assistant coaches with a lot of accolades and a lot of years in the league. He said he made sure to hire a very experienced team so that he could minimize the learning curve as much as possible. So I'm not gonna say he's gonna be mistakeless the whole year. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a perfect coach, but I think that he will have that good team and he's smart enough to, if he does make a mistake, to not continually make the same mistake. That was our issue last year. We saw the same mistakes over and over and over and over again for like the entire season. So I don't think JJ is gonna be prone to that.
Do we have Nate McMillan as an assistant coach, Bez?
We do.
Okay. That's good.
Nate.
Nice. Old man.
Yeah. Shout out to
5.
Nate.
Yeah, shout out Nate.
All right, 5 seed. I'm gonna go first with this one. This is where I have the Memphis Grizzlies. I think the only thing really stopping them, in my opinion, is the injuries because they already caught the injury bug to some of their few players. Jaren Jackson's hurt to start the year. Gigi Jackson's out to start the year. John Morant tweaked his ankle in the preseason game. He said he was fine, but we'll see if that affects him going into the year. So that's the only thing I would say for them could hurt them. But we've seen when they're healthy, they're a top 5 seed consistently. The first year that they broke out, they were a 2 seed in the league. John Morant has the talent. We know they got the defensive talent with Jaren, Marcus Smart, even Bane could defend. And with Edey, I don't know if he's going to be a great NBA player, but I do believe that at the very least, he's going to offer you stuff in terms of rebounding and size. So, like, he might not be great offensively and especially not defensively, but he's going to rebound the ball for you. He's going to catch easy lobs around the rim, and he's going to, like, take up room in the paint. And I think at some level that's going to be valuable. Whether he's, like, going to take him over the top, I don't know, but I do think that he will be an asset to them because just not having Steven Adams last year, I think lost him a lot of games because Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson, they're not really centers if you're really thinking about it. Like, Jaren Jackson he doesn't even rebound well, and you know what I mean? Like, he's scared of getting rebounds. He got that Miles Turner type of stuff where he, like, runs away from them. Brandon Clark, I like him, but he was hurt all last year, and he's not just big enough to be center. So I think them getting him is going to be big, whether he contributes a ton or just even a little bit. So I like this team. I love watching them play. They're super exciting and very young, very up and down team, good on both sides of the ball. So as long as they can stay healthy, I can see him being up towards the top of the league.
100% agree. I have the same number 5 as Bez for the Grizzlies. I could see them going as high as 3rd in the regular season, but I really don't. If it goes right, it goes right, bro. This team has been there before. They could do it again. I don't want to talk about the other teams yet, but I think they could sway 1 or 2 spots down where the Grizzlies might sneak up, where I don't think the Suns would. But that's just what I have to talk about the Grizzlies. But everything Bez said is, like, pretty much factual.
I feel like Zach Edey, you can play him in spot minutes and he'll produce very well for you. You don't have to play him as much. He's not like a top tier talent where you have to play him a certain amount of minutes. Play him where he's playing good, and if he's not playing good, you can bench him. I believe in Jenkins as a coach too, so he'll put him in the right position to succeed in certain moments. So I'm not mad at that.
Like, if they're playing the Pelicans, you probably don't want him out there. You could run a small ball lineup.
Or maybe you do want him out there for some post hooks.
Yeah, facts.
Herb Jones guarding you.
No one's stopping that.
This is where I have the Phoenix Suns. I believe in the talent of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. If if Bradley Beal stays healthy this year, they could definitely win a few more games. And the signings, like Beth said, what they did in free agency with the money they had is really good, and helps them their continuity fit a bit better than they did last year. And also, like the Grizzlies, there's pressure on the Phoenix Suns. If this doesn't work out this year, I don't know what the future holds for Kevin Durant and Devin Booker being on the same team or where the direction goes. The owner is definitely wants to be win heavy, and I heard he gets a bit irritated when things aren't going right for them. So I don't know if he's going to pull the trigger as a new owner and separate the team or find a way to get Devin Booker some help because he probably won't be traded. But there's a lot of pressure going into this year. Huh?
So KD would have to be the one to go.
Yeah, KD and Brad. And I don't know what you can trade for Brad if he plays bad, what assets you can get.
Brad don't want to leave.
A trade clause. But, I mean, you're going to have to come to some sort of agreement, I'd assume.
Yeah, he can waive it.
There's too much pressure on this team not for them to succeed or at least be a 5th seed. And I think they'll answer that call. So if Devin Booker and Kevin Durant stay healthy, this team will be good enough to make the playoffs. It's just how do the others fit and how do they make them be better and win basketball games with them. So.
All right, well, I'm in agreement for Hassan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in agreement for Hassan. I got Suns at 5. I'm a huge Devin Booker believer. Obviously, we love KD. I think that last year the defense was the biggest issue in my opinion, besides even health and offensive consistency. I think adding Royce O'Neal is a huge pickup in terms of defense. I do agree it would probably be better in my opinion to start Royce O'Neal over Bradley Beal, especially if you have Tyus Jones and if you want him to actually be a point guard and a starting point guard. You can't. You know what I mean? Like you like Ben said, you can't have that lineup of Tyus Jones, them 3, you know what I mean, and then a center.
Yeah, I think how Mike Budenholzer distributes the minutes is going to be very important because maybe you play Brad for like 5-6 minutes, bench him, and then let the bigger lineup, like you said, play, and then have Brad play by himself on the bench. But
Yeah, but they are so talented at the end of the day that barring like some a huge health injury, even if Beal didn't play, I think they'd still be a decent team. But I think hopefully they're all healthy, and I think that they'll get to that fifth seed. You know, Lakers might. You know,
They're a better
start,
roster than the
start slipping.
Lakers.
But they can start slipping though. Suns can
Yeah,
start
if
slipping.
coaching is bad, then yeah,
Close, you know.
or injuries. Top four. This top four is different from the East, I'd say.
Did everyone say they're 5?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, top
Actually,
4.
no, not really.
Wait, what? You didn't say you're 5?
No, I said my 5. I'm saying like as the top four being kind of the same as the East.
No, the top 4 feel like
No,
Loki the same
it's definitely up in the air.
structure.
And I'm gonna get a rant off right here, okay? I'm gonna
Go
get a
ahead.
rant
Your
off.
time has come. There's no way out of this one.
All right, we talking. I got the clips loaded up.
Yes, sir.
At number 4, we have the Denver Nuggets, and I'm honestly thinking we might be a little too high on them this year. I'm being generous because I respect Nikola Jokic, but Hassan, you want to talk about teams being figured out? If anyone's getting figured out, it's going to be the Denver Nuggets because they've had the same formula for the last 2 to 3 seasons, and it's only been getting worse and worse over the years. Losing KCP, bringing in Russell Westbrook, who we know can make some bad decisions, and you're taking the ball out of Jokic's hands more often late in the game. So I think they're going to have to rely on some of these young guys to step up, Payne Watson, Christian Brown, and I just don't know if they're ready personally. I think losing KCP hurts them a lot, especially in the regular season because you don't have that guard defender that's really elite. You got Aaron Gordon who could defend the big men, the wings, and you had KCP who would defend the guards. Now you don't really have that, and you're asking some of these young guys to do a lot. And, you know, I guess it's not impossible that they can step up and do this, but I just don't believe it. I think, you know, Jokic, he can make things work even with poor play around him. So I can't disrespect him too much, but that's the only reason I kind of have him at 4. The things around him this year just don't look as good. MPJ, I like him, but we know he has hot and cold days. Jamal Murray, if he's not playing the Lakers, it's hit or miss. So
It's flipped.
I got a lot of questions. The depth is hurting. They don't want to trade for anyone. They don't want to make moves. Like this front office hasn't been shown to be aggressive. So I'm starting to get a little concerned for the Nuggets, and I'm giving them 4 because I respect Jokic because he's the best in the game, but I wouldn't be lying to you if I didn't want to put him lower. Like, I really wanted to put the Grizzlies above them, but they just aren't healthy either.
So for me,
I mean, I ain't mad at it. I definitely have him higher on my list, but I've also heard rumors of like Mike Malone not being as regarded as he once was on that team, so it could definitely fall bad fast for that team, even if they have Jokic.
So, yeah, I agree with. Well, first off, I agree with Bez. If you can tell by my woos, I got him at number 4.
Damn.
I do. I'm also thinking that they. I also think that they downgraded a lot in the offseason, unfortunately. I do think that we've seen Jokic with a depleted talent roster, and he was usually hovering around 5th and 6th seed in a Western Conference that wasn't necessarily as competitive.
That's strong, yeah.
I think that the Nuggets are susceptible to being a team that loses to teams like the Rockets or like, you know what I mean? Like losing to teams that they shouldn't usually lose to. I feel like they'll lose more games of those this year than any other year just based off of like what they've lost. Like a team like the Rockets, like if they play them too fast, you know what I mean? Or something.
They
like,
lost a couple of those last year.
Yeah, they lost.
How did the Nuggets lose these games?
Exactly. So I think that them not doing anything to get better, and honestly just got worse.
Definitely.
What's this guy talking about? So it's, considering the Nuggets got worse, I think that they're not going to be able to compete as much with the top teams. And I, like Bez, almost put them 5th, flirted with 6th, but I was like, nah. But so then I was like, I'll give them 4th just because I still believe in the pieces they do still have and Jokic. So,
yeah.
Yeah, Jokic can make the playoffs with like us 4, bro. To be honest,
It's
not even.
He showed it as
hey,
MVP.
man,
I'm
averaging at least like.
I'm gonna have a career year with Jokic.
Who's better at shooting? Omari or MPJ? Omari, give me your take.
Easily.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
I perfectly lobbed that for you, Ben.
Thank you. You knew.
Got the music on deck.
Hey man, he got a podcast too. Tell him we can hit
Well,
up live. I'll put that up.
this is actually where I have the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh,
I have
Okay,
them the fourth
respect.
seed. I think the team did improve in terms of talent and getting better players to help Luka Doncic.
Why would
But
you do
it
that?
still is the Luka Doncic show. This is going to be a heliocentric offense that runs through him. Players will get limited shots, and that could only take you so far, even with his pretty level of production. Last year, they were like the sixth seed, I think, right? No, they're the fifth seed. And this year, I have them a bit higher with the addition of Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall. And yeah, I think the team continuity got better, but you did lose Derek Jones, and this is still a heliocentric offense that's centered around Luka. That could only get you so far in the regular season, and the team goes as far as he does. So this is why I have him at number 4.
I also have the Mavericks at number 4, Hassan. Pretty much same things you said. They did pretty good in the offseason, but I mean, I still don't see them, breaking that edge to go into the top 3 this year. But yeah, still good. I mean, they could, top four is pretty competitive. If it's gonna be a
from
one,
last year.
yeah, we improved over last year, but top 4 is competitive. I mean, if it's gonna be a 2, 3, 4, 5 game swing, it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, Luka can only do so much, and I don't think he'll be superhuman enough to get them to a top 3 seed.
Kyrie.
Gabe, you got them at 4 also, or what?
Yeah, I do. I do have the Mavericks at 4.
Okay. Well, I got the Mavericks at 3. I'll piggyback off that. Yeah, you guys pretty much talked about everything. I think they got a little better this year, even though Klay isn't what he used to be. I think he'll help them. Honestly, just for his aura, I know it's kind of corny, but like you still got to respect Klay as a shooter. You can't leave him open, So even if he ain't hitting like he used to, as long as teams are respecting him, he should help open the floor up for Luka and Kyrie. And Najee Marshall, although you lose Derek Jones, you get Najee, so it's not as good, but he could kind of fill those shoes a little bit. So I expect them to be good. Derek Lively looks like he's about to break out this year. So, I think they'll have a good year this season. I'm looking for them to continue what they did last year into the regular season.
Yeah. This is where I have the Oklahoma City Thunder. Granted, they could be one this year. I think the
Y'all
top
still
3
sleeping. Y'all still sleeping.
These top 3, 4 is like really, really like neck and neck, bro.
It'll be
It's
damn near the same as last
neck.
year, I think.
Yeah, like last year, like.
Yeah, I see the team being.
So like double trouble.
They won't be the same. I think players will definitely improve, but now they're not a surprise team. I think teams will now see them coming. They know who SGA is as all-star or superstar level talent. We have Chet Holmgren. I think Chet will definitely develop, but at this point, they're all 3 teams are going to be good. There's nothing really bad you can say about them. I think this is just more of a positive note and to see who'll be better come regular season time. But the only negative I could say is that teams now know who OKC is, and for that, they might be more well prepared, and they'll be 3 instead of 1 by 1 or 2 games. So
I have the Nuggets at number 3. Bez pretty much touched up on them earlier. They did it's not a crazy downgrade, but I mean, they did get worse a little bit, in my opinion. And I am a Russell Westbrook fan, but I mean, getting him is not going to solve your problems. It's just not. It just really isn't. Still praying to God that man wins a ring, but he's not gonna. But yeah, Jokic is going to get it done with the people he still has. He's not going to be a 1st or 2nd seed, but he is going to be, better than 4, 5, 6, in my opinion. So I do see them at 3rd going into this next season.
All right.
I don't think that's wrong.
Let me see if I
So
can-
3rd, this is where I got Minnesota. I got the Wolves boys 3rd. I think that I know big blockbuster trade.
What?
That's crazy. That's right.
He talk about Russell Westbrook winning a ring.
Oh
I didn't
man,
know
The
that.
only ring he's gonna get.
You have to marry him.
God.
Jesus
All right.
Christ!
But yeah, so I think that with the blockbuster trade, I don't think that this trade necessarily makes them any better. I think Cat is better than Randall. They obviously don't bring the same things on the court, so it's a bit of a different fit. But although I feel like, they're not necessarily twin towers anymore. They're not both 7-footers. Randall's around like 6'9", which is usually short for he's a power forward, so I guess not the biggest deal.
He's all right.
But yeah, I don't see what he does much better besides bring a hustle and a gritty mentality than Cat did for their team. You know what I mean? Cat could still space the floor. Cat could, Randall's defense isn't. I mean, like I said, it's more based off effort than defensive skill and being a lockdown defender. So I feel like this doesn't really move the needle in terms of where they are. So, and I'm pretty sure they were third last year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It was like a tie
Yeah.
or something. It was like a three-way tie or something.
Oh no, they were third, and then 1 and 2 were tied between the Nuggets and the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
They were all close.
So yeah, I mean, third, I guess, like I said, I don't think it makes them much better. I think it'll be like a neutral change. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
can't argue. Yeah, I can disagree with.
I could say, did we say our threes? Is that all our threes?
Did you say yours best?
Yeah, I have the
Mavs, right?
Mavs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two.
I could hop into the twos because Omari said the Wolves just now, right?
Yes, sir.
So just to segue into my number two, I actually have the Minnesota Timberwolves here. I really don't think my number one is obviously the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think they're going to be as figured out as Hassan thinks that they claimed. I think they're still going to go right back into like the zone, in my opinion. If anything, them getting Randall is going to put them at a bit of like not an issue, but
Disadvantage.
it's going to put them at a disadvantage in the beginning of the season, which they may not recover. I mean, granted, still second seed is amazing. Like, I'm not going to say that it's not,
Yeah.
but maybe with Cat, you run it back one more time. You made it to the Western Conference Finals. You guys were clicking on all cylinders. You know what I mean? You just came up short. So you guys should be doing great. But they got Randall. Team chemistry switched up a little bit. So I do think they're not going to be as good as the Thunder this year. The Thunder, I think, are going to be very, very, very strong this year. If people are underestimating them, that's going to be a bad thing.
Well, I can piggyback off of you. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves will be number 2 this year. I think Anthony Edwards will take that next step. Obviously, with the team trading Karl Anthony Towns, they believe that too. And if he takes that next step, there's no reason for them to be not to be number 2. Julius Randle's still an all-star level talent. At least he's not Karl Anthony Towns, especially with the spacing, but he provides hustle, rebounding, and he'll bully ball you to death for his points. But also the depth. I think Jaden Daniels will take another step. Naz Reid, 6th man of the year, and Dante DiVincenzo's a hell of a shooter too. I think the depth will carry them in the regular season and win them more games than they could. So I think with Anthony Edwards taking the next step, the depth that they have, coaching, there's no reason for them not to be a top 2 seed in the NBA, and versatility as well. They can score from all 3 levels, and defense too with Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid. Randall's not that bad of a defender. He's a better defender than Karl Anthony Towns. So from a regular season standpoint, if they figure it out, apparently they already have the chemistry. Randall and or chemistry's been high between Randall and Anthony Edwards so far. So I think they'll get to this 2 seed. I don't see any digression from them.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I got them at number 2 as well. Everything you guys mentioned, I don't think they'll fall off much. I do think Cat is better than Randall, but you kind of have a trade-off there with getting more depth in DiVincenzo. You guys didn't talk about this guy either, but I like what I've seen from Rob Dillingham early in the preseason.
He's nice.
He's going to come be a spark plug off their bench. You know, they kind of lack that secondary score, outside of Cat and Ant. But now if you got another guard that can score, Mike Conley is kind of on his way out. So the fact that you kind of have a young guy who he can mentor and stuff like that is really good for the future too. So I think they'll be just fine. If they want to, however they want to play, Naz Reid off the bench, Joe Ingles, DiVincenzo, Nikhil Alexander, Rob Dillingham. Who knows? Maybe one of these younger guys that they drafted in the second round helps them contribute, on a Kyle Anderson level or something. So they'll be fine. I think they'll be good.
Yeah, Julius Randle can shoot 3 too.
Forgot. He's not as good as Cat, but he can shoot.
He can shoot.
Yeah.
All right. So
shot 40% 1 year.
Shooting as good as Cat is like an insane luxury. That's crazy.
Got him more.
I kind of won't be 3. Y'all wrong. Not just kidding. So I got the Mavs at number 2. I think that I know that they were 5th seed last season. I think that they kind of gained a lot, and a lot of more things clicked as the year went on. I feel like they got better as the year went on, especially considering their playoff run. I think that with the addition of Najee Marshall, the addition of another shooter in Klay Thompson that they desperately needed last year, and like I said, Bez said it right. One of y'all said the gravity. his aura.
His aura.
Yeah, his aura will account for something, and hopefully he can knock down those shots. Hopefully he can average 15, 17 on a good season. But like, so I think that they'll have that improvement. Obviously, Luka is Luka, Kyrie is Kyrie. I do agree that Derek Lively is looking good. I think he's going to take a big step up this season in his second year. So I have them like continuing their momentum from everything that they learned during the last playoff run, and I think that they'll elevate themselves to being like a top tier regular season team as well.
Yeah, they're definitely built more for playoffs and matchups, I feel like, but it's definitely a championship contending team in terms of who they have on their roster. So just have to deliver.
Yeah,
and they cooked them bum wolves. Shitting on them. So
all right,
the edge.
Luka.
And I'm a Luka and Kyrie.
Luka team.
So.
All right, let's get to our number one seeds.
Well, I guess I'm different from all you guys. So I can start because I have the Nuggets at number one. Jokic, man, I just still believe in it. I think the talent is just above everybody else. I think there is no figuring out that talent. No matter what you do, there's going to be ways for him to adjust mid-game. Jamal Murray got his contract, I think, another year removed off the ACL injury.
He got a whole tatted arm sleeve now. You guys see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Acting different.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
He got some VC.
Yeah. Another year with that pick and roll with him and Jokic getting better. So as long as he stays healthy, they'll be okay. Aaron Gordon, a great defender, like you said, as they did lose some depth and they're not willing to trade any players. But I think Bron can step up into that role and find a way to just be a 3-and-D and kind of be similar to Bruce Brown and help that team be better. They're young, or those guys are young, and they have the teachers in terms of veterans like Russell Westbrook. I think he'll at least give them energy, if not anything on the team. At least he'll give you energy.
Positivity. I like that, Hassan. Thank you.
So, I think and them coming off of that loss to the Timberwolves, I know they know that the window is closing for them, and I feel like this is the year this is the time they bump it up and they'll showcase after the regular season. And they're only one win away from being number one last year. So I think Jokic is still that guy, and he'll carry them to the first seed, and others will follow. And Mike Malone will do his best to coach. So
that's probably the worst take I've heard all year.
What do you say?
So that's probably the worst take I've heard all year.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at everyone's like, yeah, big piece of dog shit.
Number one.
Take the words right out of my mouth. Nah, so there's I don't even if you think that they'll be better than what we think they're going to be, especially me and Bez at 4. One is just crazy. I don't see, we've seen Jokic have teams.
They struggled last year, and that was with KCP.
Yeah, but they're literally one win away from being number one last year.
Yeah, but they got even worse. And so I was
they were also extremely healthy. Like, if MPJ misses some time, Jamal missed some time, but
Thunder got better. Really hurt. Thunder got better, by the way.
Yeah,
they did get better.
Thunder are looking really crazy.
Yeah, we're not even on the OKC side yet.
And they got rid of Giddey. That's also another W, Hassan. You're not forgetting.
Yeah, they did get better, but I feel like them losing to the Timberwolves made them realize, okay, we got to get ready and push ourselves to get a championship, or we're not going to have another shot at this. They're going to showcase that for the regular season.
They're still a pretty young team. Granted, Caruso's now the oldest person on the team. So I feel like, a lot of it is experience. Chet is still pretty inexperienced. It usually takes chip teams. A lot of time. It takes them a couple years to really get to the point where they gel well enough to really just beat anyone in their path, especially in playoff series. You know what I mean? When matchups are a bigger thing and the game slows down.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that the Nuggets, just in general, we've seen Jokic have less talent, whether people were hurt, and like I said, he hovered around 5 and 6 generally in those years. So it's we've seen him not be able to be 2018 Bron for a team. You know what I mean? He has his moments where there's a limit to how much he can also carry. You know what I mean?
That's not true.
And we've seen
he's phrasing it wrong. I know what he means. When you
know what I mean? He carries his team obviously, but his team is still talented. but there's
Yeah,
a
I
limit
mean-
to how bad of talent he can carry. You know what I mean? And we've seen him
I know what
with
he's
bad
saying.
teams. Yeah,
I
we've
get
seen
it.
him with bad teams, and he carries them to that 5th and 6th seed, which is still amazing for what he's doing. But he's still just a 5th and 6th seed. So to say
To
that
be fair,
he's
no one
gonna
was carrying
lose
that.
talent,
LeBron ain't carrying that 6
Are
team.
you
that,
are you
No,
referencing?
Prime
Are you
Ball will carry
referencing?
that to a
Prime
5
Ball.
6
Facu
seed.
Campazzo?
Are you
Yes,
referencing
to a
the
Aaron
five,
Golden
Cruz.
State
six,
one? Hold on,
five,
hold on.
6 ain't even that crazy.
No,
Omari,
I think
are you talking about
Warriors
the
still
Golden
beat
State
him.
run? Like when he went, Murray went down with the injury, and it was just him and like a few people. Is that the one you're
Yeah,
referencing?
that's the year they won the chip.
I'm not even talking about playoffs. I'm just talking about
They didn't win the
their
chip that year.
regular
No,
season
he's
standings.
talking about the Warriors.
Warriors
Jokic
won the
was
chip
a
that year,
but Jokic has. We've seen years that Jokic was a 5th and 6th seed with relatively mediocre teams around him. I'm not saying that. I think this team is a little bit better. Like I
They
said,
were
that's
only
why I have
missing
him at
Jamal
fourth.
too. It wasn't like
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon was
Yeah.
there. Like he was there.
Well, Jamal Murray's the second best
MPJ was
player.
terrible.
MPJ was he just wasn't as good yet. But like I said, I think that they're better than those years. But to put them at 1 is just crazy.
Yeah,
I think
1 is a
4
little
Why?
too
fair.
much.
Hey, what's
I didn't
letting
even
me
do that. I didn't
They
even do
did lose
that.
some pieces,
Because
but they only lost KCP. I mean, KCP's not the difference between 1 and 4.
But the Thunder got better though.
But he's a big
Yeah.
difference in winning and losing like 4 or 5 games, and not to
losing your
mention
best perimeter defender.
you got to
is
pray
a
for
big
the same
deal.
exact health, and you got to pray for like your young guys to actually contribute. Because like
Okay, well, what's
regardless,
stopping them from contributing, the younger guys?
I'm just saying we haven't seen it. Besides Christian Brown, I'll give you him. Like he's shown flashes. Everybody else, I haven't seen like anything from any of them guys off the bench. Peyton Watson, maybe a few like blocks here and there. Zeke Naji has been
We're not gonna
literally
act
the
like
worst
Westbrook
NBA
is
player
straight up
ever.
useless. Westbrook can give you some points off the bench.
But it's like
Enough to contribute to winning.
I mean, sure, but it's like his fit on the team isn't even great. Like he's really only good when Jokic sits for like the 10, 15 minutes. Maybe that not even
I'm
less.
assuming that's how they're gonna utilize him. Just him
But
by
it's like
himself
okay,
and go to work.
he's there for a specific role,
He can go to
specific
work.
time period. It's like you can't really play them
you want
both
to start the
together. That's
backcourt?
just horrible.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. But
And Aaron Gordon too. That would be disgusting.
I still think he'll give you some type of production to contribute to winning, in my opinion. To at least have him
I agree.
to one.
So
And
one is
also,
better.
yeah, I mean, my biggest point is them taking it more seriously or pushing themselves to being better because the window being closed soon.
Also
This
for
is
the
last
Nuggets,
year. I feel like
I feel like the Nuggets, if the one team don't care about the regular season because they just need to get to the playoffs, it's them because they already know they could win the thing. They don't really care about being number 1 seed. Like
They
they'll
could
probably
beat
be
teams in the
fine as a
playoffs
3
easily.
seed.
They
that could be
beat-
their
not easily, but they
perspective
could beat
where
them.
like now they think, okay, now let's just show teams who we are and get the best seed possible because the matchup that they had last year wasn't in their favor with the
But
Timberwolves.
it's like you
So.
can't control everything. You can control what you do, obviously, but
Mm.
I don't know.
You can't avoid teams in the regular season, Huss. It's not gonna happen.
Like you know, when the
it's
Bucks
like-
once they won that finals, that like ever since then, we haven't said they're a number 1 seed ever again because they just kind of coast through the regular season until they get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like the Nuggets are heading that direction too. So I think the Thunder,
one
on the
way or
other
the
hand,
other.
the Thunder, on the other hand, where they're number 1 seed, they got a lot to prove still. I think they're still up and coming, young, hungry. They got 2 bargain deals in the offseason with Caruso and Hartenstein. I feel like those are great additions for their team. Everything they needed to do, everything they needed to add. I already talked about this on the Power Forwards video. I think Jalen Williams is going to take a all-star level jump this year. And I feel really good from what I've seen in the preseason because he's looking like that. So Shai is going to be an MVP candidate again this season. I think he's going to carry that team to a top seed. You know, he already put the world on notice that he is on that level. So I think this year is only going to get better now that everyone is paying attention to them. So I'm just really high on this OKC team. I think they continue to make the right move. They still have a ton of first-round picks to get even better during their season. So I see only up for this team right now.
I like the draft pick in Topic too this year.
Yeah,
So
and he doesn't
that
even have
kinda
to play.
replaces
He's
Gabe's
like on the
production.
back burner.
I
for
like
next
I like the Hardenstein pickup to address some of the Chet's flaws. If they ever have to, they have to go bigger.
Rebounding.
He's mobile. He can pass a little bit. I've seen him in the Knicks days, and I love the Caruso pickup as well. That's solid, bro. That is super solid.
I'm curious to
That's
see what their rotations will look like with so many players now.
They just have
Definitely
so much
not-
like depth. They have like they could do it. They're do it all guys now.
Yeah,
they're
trade
scary.
might be coming too at the deadline.
Now they have to prove it. They all have to prove it to me.
Yeah, but do you guys believe in them making a run in the playoffs?
In the regular season, yes, but playoffs is a different video. You gotta stay tuned. Make sure you
I think they got first rounder last year, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, they
They beat
swept the
yeah.
Pelicans and they lost to the Mavs.
to the Mavs.
I think they'll lose to the Mavs again. It's just not a good matchup.
Yeah,
I think they
depending
got
on the
better this
matchup.
year to handle him though. They got another wing defender. Now you got Lou Dort and
And
Caruso,
Caruso, yeah.
and now you got another big who as much as I like Chet, like Gabe said, he got some limitations with the size and physicality. But you
Yeah,
got
he'll stop
Hartenstein,
Lively from
so
getting offensive rebounds.
He'll
But
I think
try
it
and
depends
got
contain
better
the
the-
too.
matchup. I think it just depends their matchup. Like I can
Yeah.
see the Nuggets beating them because they just don't have enough to stop Jokic. And the guard defending is good for Murray, but like the Nuggets don't really have a ton of guards that you need to be defending. So
I can
that's
see
like a bad matchup.
OKC. I can see them beating the Timberwolves this year too. I like their matchup against them.
Yeah.
Facts. That's a good one.
They just gotta prove it
just-
now.
yeah,
They're
it's not
doing all the right things. They made it to the playoffs, second round, SJ MVP candidate. Their team got better than last year.
Yeah,
Now,
you know what they remind me of? They remind me of like the Grizzlies coming up. They
really,
got to the playoffs.
That's a good comparison.
They won
I like that.
in the regular season. Now it's time to prove it. But
I like that
mean,
comparison.
OKC is
Never
a
did.
better team though.
They kept running. They ran to the Lakers. It was over.
Yeah, ran to a veteran team. OKC definitely has more talent than Grizzlies a few years ago.
They're just also more mature,
I don't
in
know.
my opinion. Like it's more of a team. Like we're just here to play the right way, type of thing.
Yeah, nobody grittying on courts.
No guns.
Shea could gritty. Shea just has aura though. Shea just has aura. Mr. Aura himself.
Yeah. Provides himself from aura and corny interviews.
The Skims.
Skims. Do we have any hot takes? What was the hot take?
Wait, Omari said. Omari, what's the Laker one?
Or is
Six.
this they get an outright playoff spot, like no playing?
Oh, that's not that crazy.
They-
It's
That's
not
Yeah,
even
boy,
hot.
playing, yeah.
Y'all got to
That's
think
not-
of one
yeah.
that's like outside
Hassan,
the box.
Hassan,
that
the
you-
Warriors one. Hassan's Warriors one.
Oh, I said they're 17. Is that
No,
hot?
no. That's not what I'm talking about. Y'all got to like think of one that you didn't put for the standings. Like say I didn't write this, but I could see it happening. Type of hot take.
Hot take.
Like you don't really believe in it, but like if it happened, you're like I'm gonna call it right now so that if it does
Yeah, I got
happen,
one.
I thought about it.
He's gonna say Clippers at 6. He's gonna say I can already hear
No,
it.
I think my hot take would be Rockets making the playoffs this year.
Just the
Yeah,
playoffs.
I guess that's
That's
not,
not
a
even
top
hot to
pick for
take.
them, 'cause they
Like
For
play-
you.
six,
Not hot?
us six, or like they
Fixing up, yeah.
Okay. No,
Obtaining an
considering
actual
he
playoff
had them
spot.
so low, for him it's fair.
yeah.
Randomly, Jazz
won.
randomly being a 41 team. That's impossible. There's no way.
Somehow the Thunder fall off and they go to 5th seed. Or like
Hold on,
six. That'd be
before we go to
crazy.
these hot takes, shout out to Worley, been here the whole time. Let's look at
Yeah,
his standing
shout out Worley.
predictions. Let's analyze these.
Oh, let's
Okay.
see this. Let's
This,
see
oh,
this.
this was ass. I read that shit. That was
Okay, 15W, 14W, 13W, 12W, 11W,
W.
10W.
Warriors,
Lakers. This is
See,
fair. It's a
no.
fair critique.
No, it's
8
not.
Grizzlies
Whoa.
too low. Grizzlies are
Too
too
low.
low.
Rockets,
Rockets
too
is
high.
ranging.
One
Kings
team.
is high as fuck. The Kings and Grizzlies got to switch
Kings are high.
immediately.
If you swap Kings and Grizzlies, these
Yeah.
are valid
Kings is the
standings.
worst spot.
This is a
Kings
really
is the
good
worst
list, except 6
Yeah,
and
Kings
8.
shouldn't be
I like
high.
this list. I like
Yeah,
it.
just swap 6 and 8, bro. And these are to me valid, super valid.
Nah,
Not bad,
Kings
yeah.
shouldn't even be 8.
He put a Hassan. Do you see
let's
the emoji he
address,
put next to the Clippers? He put a
Mr.
a
Smith
LMAO.
98. We can address Mr. Smith 98 too.
All of them.
Who-
All
this
y'all
one?
did, right?
Three
Except
of us
me.
put him? Didn't 3 of us
Nah,
put him?
Except
Me
me,
and
yeah.
you,
I had
I
him
think-
at 5.
Yeah, we had him at 5.
I had him
Five
at
is the highest.
6. 5 and 6 are like the same place. low-key.
It's basically what Bradley Beal does, I guess. How they kind of play him.
5
Hey,
sound better than
if
6.
he's still here, let me know what you think about. I don't know if he was here when I said Bradley Beal should come off the bench, but I want to know what he
yeah.
thinks about that for Royce O'Neal or Grayson. And then this one
Grizzlies
too.
players live in the ER.
The Pelicans, Herbert Jones at the 5. Herb can guard 1 through 4, so it's a bright idea to put him at the 5.
Yeah. Putting your
No,
best,
this is a good point. Like you're taking away your best perimeter defender and making him guard bigs. Like that's just
Yeah.
eliminating his best asset. which is
exactly.
so dumb.
Yeah.
Dude,
You have
know
a guy
what?
that makes you money doing one thing and you put him at the worst position, expecting him to make you money.
And then you're gonna trade him because he's not gonna do good over there. Imagine.
Nah, that'll be insane.
You know what we should do? Now that we have East and West done, you guys, the next video we should do is like that simulation thing I was talking about with the
What?
tournaments, with playoffs, and from our teams before the season starts, we have them like we're not playing obviously, we're just like choosing, but we do simulate like a playoff bracket.
Okay, so like we'll just get the median of all our playoff 8 teams.
Or
Yes,
or
yeah.
we could do a tier list with like on a pod, and then someone like Bez has like control like a tier list, and we like rank if like like championship teams, contenders, but like stuff like that. That's a cool video idea before the
Yeah,
season.
that's a good video too.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
Yeah, so you guys got any hot take? You said the Rockets make The
Make the-
playoffs, right?
Yeah, 6 seed. Rockets at 6.
Let's see. Let me think.
A hot take is the Warriors making the playoffs. Am I right, guys?
All right, Devin responded. He could come off the bench if the team is still struggling, but I think people are really underrating Tyus Jones. Not us. I think we gave Tyus Jones
No,
his
we're
credit.
saying that if you want him
like
to be
Tyus
super successful, well, like he wants the ball in his hands, right? He's a distributor playmaker, and I feel like Bradley Beal is an awkward fit there with him and Devin. You want the ball in Devin's hands more than Beal. Tyus Jones, you want the ball in his hands because of what he does as a playmaker. So it's just like Bradley Beal, an awkward fit in the starting lineup. I would really think the defensive Royce O'Neal could just kind of help make it a well-rounded unit.
Yeah. Real deal, Bradley Beal.
Yeah, the Pelicans, we going to have to see. Like I said, I could see him being as low as 13 if things go poorly, honestly. Like, this could be a blow-up type of season for them because it's already starting off on rocky waters with Brandon Ingram. You know, he, like, wants to get paid, but he's not really showing up, so.
Guys, Lakers are going to get the 4th seed because they're going to be amazing this year. I'm already calling it out. That's my hot take. I'm going to live by it.
That's your hot take? Okay.
Lakers 4th.
Let me see.
You know what? I'm going to get that tattooed on my arm. Lakers in 4.
Hot take. Clippers will be the 4th seed because of James Harden's production.
That's the worst.
That's
That's
boiling, bro.
Boo.
Literally the
I got some for your ass. Hold on.
Bro, he said, his Warriors prediction is a hot take in and of itself.
I got mine.
Not true.
Mine's
7
Spurs.
seed is not a hot take, bro.
It's hot, bro.
Mine's Spurs making the play.
Ooh.
It's a good one.
Okay. I like that, Omari.
Our Spurs are the new OKC.
Bro, if the Spurs actually manage to sneak in the play-in, oh my God, I'm gonna be such an insane gaslighter for NBA news. I swear to God.
All right, my hot take. The Clippers are the 14th seed. They're the second worst team in the West.
Harden's legacy is tarnished. Thank you,
bro. Like you just bought the Intuit Dome and you're the 14th seed.
What does the Inuit Dome to do with the season, bro? Bro, Best, you said 14th seed. Bro, they just bought the Inuit Dome.
Bro. How are they gonna be 14?
I'm just saying, it's bad because you get a whole new arena, put an investment for these players, and then they just stink.
It's bad, but they can't control their players, bro.
Dude, I don't think they will be that bad, but like if the Jazz beat them out, I wouldn't be like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, well, I see how, you know.
These tickets are like $250.
My hot take is the Blazers have 9-game win season.
That's insane, bro. That's the hottest one.
Yeah.
9 wins.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Hey,
Who do you think is gonna be worse, Wizards or the Blazers, worst team in the NBA?
No, Wizards are gonna be the worst team by far. It's not even gonna be close.
I think they'll trade Kuzma.
They're in an easier conference.
Their literal game plan is go out there and have fun.
Exactly. Let's go get Cooper Flag. Chase the flag.
Oh man.
Capture the flag, right, Huss?
Hey, hopefully Jordan Poole can like do some this year and rebuild his value.
Bro, have you
who do
seen
you
the
think
Jordan
is gonna
Poole
be-
lowlights for the Wizards? It's so funny. There's like a YouTube comp.
He needs a resuscitation, not a
Bro,
resurgence.
some of those edits where he slips on like a random the Porzingis one was funny. He does like that dribble move behind the back. He walks to the 3-point line, sets up a
Gets
slow
blocked.
shot, and Porzingis just slaps the ball.
Or where he's like letting the ball roll through, and he's like, "Look at the clock! Look at the clock! Let her run! Let her run!"
Or the one that someone edited like a ghost of Draymond punching him in the face and he fell down.
And he slips.
That was so funny. Bro,
Who do you think is gonna be the best team in the NBA?
The Celtics.
Celtics probably have the best record.
Celtics are the Thunder, but Celtics.
Yeah, they're versing easier teams at the bottom heap of the
Yeah, they're
East.
just bullying on those scrubs over there, bro, in the East. Bro, they got, what do we say? They have like the Hawks that might be like the 8th seed, bro. Look, what is this, bro? What
The
is
Pistons, the Wizards, 8 games right there.
free? That's 8 free games. That's 10% of the season, us.
I remember Jaylen Brown said we can put out Peyton and
what's that one dude, Serbi? Damn.
the white
Bro,
guy.
y'all want to see the Wizards this year? I'm
Hauser?
about to show you.
Yeah.
Sam Hauser, yeah.
Sam Hauser.
This is the Wizards this year.
It's like a bunch of kids.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
I actually got to watch the reboot. I got to watch that reboot.
Selena Gomez do
That's
something.
who they're gonna be this year,
I
bro.
love Selena Gomez.
Skeet
Oh, don't
Anderson
even get me started.
Man on 7 turnovers. This is gonna be worse. Sam
Wait,
Poole.
hey, pull
I'll
up
say
Swirly's
Skeet.
thing. Yeah, that
I'm
one.
going
That
Skeet.
comment.
I'm going Steve.
Dude,
Hoop Henderson went 4 for 16 tonight
Yeah,
on
we
7.
will.
Trailblazers were at the Seahawks game yesterday, dude, they had the worst aura I've ever seen. Couldn't tell who one player was on there.
Yeah, I was saying they probably didn't get recognized at all.
Who are these guys?
What? Yeah, who these tall ass
So aren't you
niggas?
supposed to be
Damian
on the
Lillard when you
field,
need
buddy?
him.
What
He
are
said,
they
"Get
like?
out the
What if
way."
they thought they were like the bench or like?
Oh, these guys on the
Our
practice squad.
security up. They're like, wait, what
Why
are
are they
doing here?
dressed? Why are they dressed?
He's like, buddy, we need some receivers out there, bro.
Anthony Simon.
Or they think Anthony Simon's like a wide receiver.
Man. Most
No,
auraless
or
team in the NBA.
at least people know Jordan Poole and like Kuzma. Are,
Kyle
like,
Kuzma.
you know?
At least he got swag. Like he's doing Good Morning America interviews. Like
Jordan
Listen,
Poole's
something
like
with that team,
hella
man.
hella aura, hella clout during his Warriors days.
Kyle Kuzma
like-
said
it's
the
like-
game changed because of him.
at least he had some fire.
That's one of the worst quotes I've heard all year. Like
Bro,
He had
I gotta
4
go
air
back-
balls tonight. Too.
he said, you can't mention
Giving us some type of
basketball
entertainment.
without mentioning me.
Oh my god, get him out of here,
That's
bro.
the dumbest shit I ever heard, bro. I like nigga.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Trailblazers will probably be the worst, like
Sorry.
least watched team this year. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Nah.
I'm gonna.
Oh, yours?
Tap in.
Yeah.
The least
probably.
watched. No, I'm talking about an NBA. In the NBA,
In
the
NBA?
least watched probably Trailblazers.
Think of, yeah.
People still watch Detroit and Washington.
Nah,
Brooklyn, too.
it might be
Blazers.
Washington or
The Blazers have a bigger fan base than the Wizards, for sure.
I don't think so. I think
because
Washington.
Lillard crafted a Legatier thing
Yeah,
over there.
Just, but Blazers have
He's
had
gone,
a-
bro.
like
It's
the
like,
Wizards
okay,
have literally
like,
never been good. Like, not never been good, but they've had rare occurrences of being good. But
those days are gone.
But yeah, but the Blazers, like, they've had way more and way longer runs of being good than I feel like Trailblazers are definitely a more solidified.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking about more of a city aspect, I guess, with DC. People are more like. Into
I mean, they both.
basketball.
I mean, I feel
The
like
Brandon
we're-
Roy, Damian Lillard era, like last couple in the
Yeah,
2000s, is probably
sure.
better than the Wizards, I think.
100%. And then like the old Blazers have like hella historic players, you know, in Blazers.
But nobody's watching. There's no reason. There's literally no reason to watch the Portland. I mean, Scoot Henderson maybe, but he's been playing
Nah,
terrible,
of course.
bro.
I'm just saying if we're going by
Wizards-
strictly like the fan base is turning into their own games, you
Yeah.
know, like
You
let's
might
go
be
ahead,
right.
like. But I mean, they're both gonna be trash. So it really doesn't matter.
Everybody have a hot
I am,
take.
I'm getting starving too.
I'm hungry.
All right. Well, next time we should do the award predictions for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited for those
Me too.
because I think I got also maybe like some all-star. We'll see. We'll get
All-star
into some
prediction.
awards. Yeah, because I was thinking about like first-time all-stars or stuff like that we could talk about. So we got a lot to talk about before the season starts officially.
Yeah.
So make sure to tune in next week for our episode if you're on here. Shout out to Whirly Squirrely. You've been here since
Yeah.
the jump.
Literally.
Appreciate you. Make
Thanks
sure
for
to
keeping
tap
the
in.
chat moving.
W viewer, hope you subbed.
Yeah, thanks for being active participant. If you got any takes, drop them in the chat right now. Hell yeah, brother. We're out here.
Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, brother.
In, brother.
So yeah, that's
Love
about it. If anybody wants to add anything, go ahead. But if not, you know, we could get to it. The outro.
Let me hear that man.
All right.
Make sure you like the video.
Where he at?
Man, I'm dead.
Yo, Kai, you in there? I just hope that's smooth, man. You know, love
All right.
yourself.
Appreciate
know
everybody for
yourself,
tuning
love
in.
yourself. You go to bed. I love you. I'm harder than Christ and I'm harder than Mike. Cutting the movie is like, never been spike. Never been true.
It's like,
I am the goat. They got me on bed. I've been like us since a child. Dunking on him going wild.
wow.